And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the CranKy Season 2 Playoffs, day number 2. I was gonna say your daily dose. I mean, technically, your daily dose of Team League action. I'm Coach like VIP with you and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. It has been an intense week of StarCraft. There's been a lot going on in regards to this Team League. If you have been unavailable, if you have not tuned in before, over the past week of play, we've been covering the CranKy Season 2 event. We, of course, did have initially the preliminary stage. We had the preliminary stage to kind of work through who would be seeded into the playoffs, who would be knocked down to the group stage. We then had the group stage, and this morning we did feature day 1 of the playoffs. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This event is a 6-team invitational. 6 teams were invited to compete in this event. We had a Team Liquid, Team Falcons, Basilisk, Shopify, Streamer Zone, and Team Vitality. 6 teams were invited to compete in a Team League format, in a Pro League format, with an added twist with 2v2s. 2v2s were involved as well, so really cool to see. Just kind of like so nostalgic as well, like this old school, even Brood War Pro League format. I don't think 2v2 ever really hit Pro League, to be honest. I could be mistaken, like I didn't watch the first season of Pro League, I didn't watch the Hybrid Pro League. Maybe they had 2v2 in the Hybrid Pro League, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I can't quite recall, I didn't watch that. So maybe in that first season of Pro League, they did actually feature that, but outside of that, like it never really caught on. I did mention this before, but in modern StarCraft, 2v2 has hit mainstream, it has hit the pro scene, and it is enjoyed by many pro players thanks to the TLMC events that have been running since last year, and of course thanks to Euthermal and his 2v2 circuit as well. It's been great to see the resurgence of 2v2, a little bit late in the lifespan of StarCraft, but better late than never nonetheless, and now even being incorporated in team leagues. So really cool to see, and again, shout out to Crank, shout out to Chijik. Crank, of course, he is J1 Choi. Our channel is actually paying tribute to Crank, fun fact, just este Crank papi, but again, the event is sponsored and organized by Chijik, or I should say sponsored by Chijik. Because of that, we could not cast it live, or technically we could cast it live, but we'd have to live cast it over on the Chijik platform, not here on Twitch or on YouTube or on all of our other platforms instead. So as a result, there is no English coverage, there's no English live cast, I should say, and instead we are covering it via replays. I believe Wardy has also recently started covering it via replays as well. So again, we have been providing that replay coverage, and we are coming in live with day 2 of the playoffs. We've already had some eliminated teams who has been taken out. Team Vitality, they were early to be eliminated. Streamer Zone were eliminated as well, alongside, oh god, it's slipping my mind. But Team Vitality alongside Streamer Zone, they did get knocked out. All right, they're the only two to get knocked out, and there are 4 teams left, 4 teams remaining: Team Falcons, Shopify, Basilisk, and Team Liquid. And we are here to determine the next team to be knocked out, the next team to be eliminated. It's going to be one of the two, either Falcons or Shopify. Let's go, let's have a look at the lineups and go through the format of this tournament as well. Now we are in the playoffs. This is the lower bracket. Both Team Falcons and Shopify lost their previous series. Basilisk had a dominant showing over Shopify this morning, and of course we had Team Liquid barely clutch it out over Team Falcons. It was very close, very back and forth. It was a much closer series. I do recommend the VODs of Team Falcons and Team Liquid, but now this is an elimination match. The loser of this series will be knocked out of the tournament. The winner will advance on in the bracket. So here we go. We have our initial lineups. We have Rogue versus Scarlett in a ZVP. Oh is that I don't think that's correct, actually. Hold on. Oh my. Sorry, that's I was like, is she gonna be off raising as a No, that's all good, in a ZVZ, my apologies, I got freaked out for a moment there. I was like, yo, is she off racing Protoss again? That's not the case. So it's going to be a ZVZ matchup. We have Solar versus Bjorn in a ZVT. We have Rogue and Bunny joining forces once again up against Team Harambo. If you remember, something that was a bit of a shame about this morning's cast about day 1 is that Lambert wasn't there. Lambert was not available to compete, so he wasn't there to join forces with Harstem, and I would say their 2v2 duo did suffer as a result. So again, there was no Team Harambo. Instead, Harstem had to try to carry Bjorn and Scarlett in his own way, and they did struggle as a result. But now that we have the ace duo, I should say, in that 2v2, and then we have Bunny and Lambo in that 4th game on Andromeda. If you notice, all the maps are TLMC maps. Team Liquid map contest maps. So Old Republic, 10,000 feet, Gem Garden, Andromeda, alongside Dream and Scars, alongside Mothership, Ruby Rock, and Tourmaline. Okay, so we do have all of our maps. This is a best of 9. Best of 9. And the way this format works is that we have our initial 4 matches. We have our initial lineups revealed. Players that had time, they had 24 hours to prepare for these games, to prepare for their opponents. And then once we finish Bunny versus Lambo, again, even if it's a 4-0, that wouldn't be the end of the series. There's still, you know, it's first to 5 in a best of 9, so first to 5 wins. After that, the team captains will have some time to prepare their follow-up lineups here, to prepare the next set of 4 matches, and then bam, we'll see the next 4 matches, the remainder of the lineup revealed. That'll be after Bunny versus Lambo. So neither team are aware of who's playing against who and what the matchups are going to be until after Bunny versus Lambo takes place. So we'll get to that second half of the series. We'll get there. For now, though, we're going to be jumping into Rogue versus Scarlett. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. Let's go. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Canadian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Shellfire Rebellion. It is Scarlett. Here we go, and it's great to see the return of Scarlett. Again, Scarlett has been on a very long hiatus, did take a very long break, not really competing in anything, but recently did return to competitive play. When I say recently, I mean this week. This week did return, and there's reason for that. If you recall, Scarlett is invited to the big the Chinese event, the Chinese celebration that's going to be taking place at the end of November. Again, there is a celebration going on because the Chinese server is returning to live service. So there's going to be some show matches. Oliveira is going to be involved, Scarlett's going to be involved, alongside many other players. So really cool to see that there's going to be that big show match taking place at the end of November. Likewise, we also have Stellarfest, which is next week. Stellarfest is also next week. That's also an event happening in Canada, and Scarlett is going to be taking part in that event as well. So with all these offline events like in lieu or on the horizon here, Scarlett is kind of getting back into the swing of things, getting back in shape and back in form, and Scarlett looked very impressive this morning against Trigger. Day 1 of the playoffs against Trigger, she did look very impressive. Her ZVT was looking a little bit more rough around the edges, but how is her ZVZ looking as we get into the Old Republic? Now, this is a very large map, long rush distance by ground. Likewise, you have relatively defendable 3 bases. The 4th base is more exposed, but in ZVZ that matters a little bit less. So we are prone to longer games on this map because it's so big, it's so large. Likewise, Mutaplay is also going to be quite accessible, especially with the change to the Spire. Right now that we have the change to the Spire, now that Spires are going to be finishing a little bit faster, Mutaplay is more accessible, is more viable, and is more common in ZVZ. More so than in the previous patch. Here we go. Knights of the Old Republic vibes. Kind of visually, a little bit. Yo, when is KOTOR going to be remastered? How is that not a thing in the era of all these remasters? Gib KOTOR. Yeah, one day, papi, one day. For now, though. Now we do have Scarlett taking her 3rd base. Likewise, so is Rogue. Everything's normal. Everything's normal. Everything's standard. We're pulling out of gas, so only 2 and 2 in gas. Getting into Ling Bane behind this. We'll see if anyone skips their Bane Nest. We'll see if anyone goes and rushes into earlier Roaches or an earlier Evo Chamber. Speaking of, there's a Bane Nest for Scarlett. We should soon be seeing one for Rogue as well. And there it is. Rogue also throws one down. So far, mirrored builds. We have mirrored builds. Rogue does make a surge, a swell of Lings behind this. We have 10 Lings on the way, and we'll see what Rogue can get done. The recent patch probably helped her return. Maybe. I don't think it's necessarily related. The patch has been around for a while. It's just this week has marked her return. But regardless, great to see her return nonetheless. So we do have... that's what Link flooding. Okay. So we have our Link flood across the map. Scarlett does commit. Sorry, Rogue does commit. And we'll see if Scarlett can hold on. We have the first Mailing on the way. Then we have a second Mailing. We're going to be morphing in as well. It's going to be a tough hold here as Rogue is going straight for the third. Okay, the third base taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of hits. Bailings are on the way. The hatchery taking so much damage, so it looks like it is going to go down. I say that. Here come the Bailings. Up. Yeah, Bailings are on the way for both players. Lings are surrounded. Yeah, Rogue, he does avoid those Bailings. Does make his way to the mineral line. No major connections yet. Up. Oof. Does spin 2 Bailings, and we'll get into the main base, but shouldn't do any critical damage. It looks like Scarlett has held. Yeah, Scarlett has held on. Bailings are going to be denied. And this is a big investment here from Rogue. Rogue is down in workers. Rogue, he's all in. He's still committing. Yeah, still rushing across the map. Wants to at least kill the expansion. At least. Not the Spanish connection. Plus transfuse. The hatchery will still go down. And we'll see if Rogue starts droning. Oh, a bit of a wasted Bailing. Yeah, 1 Bailing left here for Rogue. Oh, the Bailing does get sniped. Rogue is busting in. Uh-oh. Going for the queens. Yeah, Rogue is going for the queens. Lings do go down. Queens are surrounded. Brutal damage here. Initially, the defense was solid for Scarlett. It was solid, but now things are getting a little bit out of hand. Yeah, they're getting out of hand. A couple of Bailings are going to be peeled up. 2 Bailings on the way in the main. Queen is distracted. Rogue still applying pressure here at the natural. Up! Oh my god. Yeah, Bailing goes off. The other Bailings have finished, and Scarlett, I don't know if she noticed. Oh no! They're waddling in. Okay, does pull away. Does pull away in time. We have more Lings rallying. Rogue is still all in. Bailings, they only get, what, 1? Oof. Yeah, a couple of drones. Only a couple of workers. Working on is still neck and neck. Rogue does have more momentum, does have extra lava thanks to the third. Bear that in mind. Oh, takes down 2 Bailings. Better trade for Rogue. Oh no! Does have the better trade initially. Takes out another queen. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Bailing gets baited. A little bit premature there from Rogue. A little bit premature. Bailing goes off. Once again, Scarlett is going to be holding on. And Rogue has been squeezing out drones. Rogue has been droning up somewhat. Yeah, now backing up. Now saturating. And the game will continue. Now, as it settles, Rogue does have a slight economic advantage. Rogue is working on the Roach Warren, and Rogue is taking extra gases as well, so it's switching into Roach production. Scarlett is doing something similar, but again, Scarlett is stuck on 2 bases. So the pressure is on Scarlett. We'll see what she can get done. Does move out. Rogue is somewhat in position. Oof. Another Westphalian connection, but alas, Rogue will defend. Does defend, does hold on. And the question becomes, is Rogue just going to turtle up, defend with Roaches and Drone, or is he going to go for a 2-base push with Roach Link game? Now, do you see what I see? No lair. There's no lair, there's no Eva chamber, there's no upgrades. It looks like Rogue is just continuing to apply pressure. It's just continuing to be just hyper aggressive. Rogue is pushing once again. He's not taking up. Meanwhile, Scarlett is taking extra gases. Oh, Scarlett +1 is on the way. Extra gases are on the way. Scarlett is macroing. Rogue is not. And we're hoping that Scarlett doesn't drone. Right? If we're hoping that Scarlett doesn't make a wave of workers here. This Rogue is moving out. Baiting gets baited. Scarlett is making a couple of workers, but nothing major. Here comes Rogue. Scarlett going for a run by. There are how many Banelings to defend? 3. Okay, there's 3 Banelings. Oh, ooh, as Banelings are trading against each other. Once again, surrounding the 3rd base. And the expansion is going to get picked up. Oh, going for the Roaches. Yeah, it does come in for the surround. Banelings crash into mainly the Queen. Not the best connections here from Rogue. A little bit messy. Scarlett's holding. Scarlett does hold on, but the base goes down for a second time. Oh, barely. It's going to be an expensive trade, though. Rogue will lose all these roaches. Roaches are going down. +1 range will kick in. And was this too expensive? Were these too many losses here for Rogue? As Scarlett is going for the counterattack. Back at home, Rogue is trying to mass an army. Getting ready for his own run by. Rogue is pushing. Sorry, Scarlett's pushing. Rogue coming in for the run by. Does get a queen. We'll get some worker kills. Scarlett turns back around. As drones will be falling. Scarlett does have a much larger roach army though. Is that going to be enough? Queens are in position. Lair did just finish for Rogue. That's going to be 3 drone kills. Nothing major. 3 drones. It's still very tense. Scarlett can no force her way up into this concave. Upgrades are on the way. Nice run by. 4 drones, not bad. Gets 4 drone kills. Scarlett's making a massive wave of drones. Scarlett is getting up to 3 base saturation. Rogue is not. Rogue is +1 range. Overseer might have got a glimpse of the move out. As Rogue is supply blocked. 5 overlords being thrown now. We have the Spire on the way for Scarlett. We mentioned before, but Spire play has been a lot more trendy as of late. Has been a lot more enticing and viable. The Rogue does have the larger Roach army. And here comes Rogue. We're going to tank some of those shots. Does raise the army. And Rogue is pushing in. Yeah, Rogue is going for the kill. Wants to end the game here and now. Again, Rogue has not been droning. Breaks his way through the roaches. And Rogue, it looks like, has done it. Has broken the 3rd base. Again, Scarlett went up to full 3 base saturation. Was droning. Was being greedy. Taking up as well into the Spire. And Rogue does have enough. And Rogue breaks through. Takes down the Roach Ravager, catching out some of the queens, piles on the eggs as well. With reinforcements, maybe Scarlett can barely hold on, but Rogue is rallying. Oof. Yeah, Rogue is still rallying across the map. Getting onto the roaches, making sure that Scarlett doesn't amass an army. And again, it was a very aggressive game out of Rogue. It was very aggressive, not a lot of room to breathe, and GG, Rogue will take a lead in the series for Team Falcons. GG. Whew. But again, a very intense back and forth. Again, it did come down to Scarlett just being a little bit too greedy and assuming that the game was going to continue. Scarlett went up to full 3 base saturation, droned up heavily, made a wave of 11 workers, and went for a Spire as well, and was going for +1 carapace, was investing a lot into a further and longer game, when Rogue was just going for an all-in. Rogue was just cutting workers once again, going for another massive push, and did have a 10 roach lead. Was up in roaches, broke through, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here, Rogue. He will take a lead in the series. And now we're getting ready for our next matchup here. We'll see if Shopify can recover. As up next, we're going to be getting into our next best of 1. It is going to be a best of 1 between Solar and Beyond. Oh boy. As Beyond is stepping in for Shopify, and we'll see if Beyond can help recover. As we're loading into 10,000 feet, a very small map. Short rushes and spike round. Aggression is favored here on 10,000 feet. Let's go. Let us go. This morning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is Beyond. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. We're getting into our next matchup here, into our TVZ. Bjorn is going for the low ground 2-Rax Reaper. Does make plenty of sense. Is an opener that Bjorn is very fond of, and we'll see how Solar can react and how Solar does respond. As we load into 10,000 feet, again, a much smaller map of the map pool. Aggression is heavily favored here on this map. And we'll see what Bjorn can achieve. Solar does go hatch first. The Raxes are on the way. Is going to be a hatch gas pool out of Solar. Going for a relatively standard opener. Likewise, the third base options here are quite limited because of the mineral wall here on the left hand side, so it'll be a little bit easier for Bjorn to get eyes and to delay the third base of Solar. True. So we'll see if Solar can keep up. We'll see how he responds. Likewise, Solar does actually prioritize scouting for proxies. Interesting. Sends out the first and second Overlord to check for proxies before moving out across the map, so it's going to be a later realization that it is 2-Rax Reaper. We'll see if Solar pulls out. We'll see if he just assumes what Bjorn is going for. Bjorn rallies. Yep, Solar he stayed in gas. Link speed is prioritized. So I was like, wow, you're so predictable here. Reaper breaks in. Oh, gets one Link. Nice start here by Bjorn. But Solar does get his third. They're basically getting up and running. This is actually quite greedy here from Solar, but Bjorn's already transitioning. Bjorn does not make extra Reapers, only 3. Doesn't get a 4th or 5th. So this third base should get up and running. It's looking very similar here to the Raynor series, if you recall, from this morning. Where Bjorn, he saw the third base. The smurge, Pappy. Solar, he was able to get up and running. Now, the reason why they're reacting in such a way, usually as... Jeez. I'd appreciate some translations in the chat. But usually, when you're defending against 2-Rax Reaper, you can't really expand, because if your opponent makes an extra pair of Reapers, then it's going to be cancelled. It's going to be denied, and you'll be losing your expansion. But Bjorn, he was late to check, late to scout, and he was also fast to switch out into his add-ons, which means the third base gets up and running. Right, it gets up and running, and this initial opener doesn't really achieve much. He invested into all these Reapers and didn't really get much damage done. I'll whip out the Google Translate. Solar, he asked him, hey, how's the defense? I think Bjorn made a pun, which is what Solar laughed at. They were commenting on the Reaper defense. Behind this, we do have the follow-up here of the 2-on-1. So 3CC 2-on-1, Stim is on the way, and Bjorn will soon be moving out. Opening up Raven? Oh, hello. That's not usually what we see here. Okay. So Raven follow-up here by Bjorn, not going for the earlier medevac, or not going for said Banshee or anything like that. Or even Viking or Liberator. Interesting. Yo, Bjorn he's been reading Reddit. Raven opener, okay. Now he doesn't have to scan. True. Raven moves out. Solo back at home has been defending nicely here, getting into Link Bane. It was an Eva Chamber first, followed by the Baneley Nest. This means +1 carapace will be done in time. Or it should kick in a little bit faster. As Bjorn does go for the forward base. He is pushing. Bjorn moves in. Okay, he's going for the queens. Let's get one. Yeah, late transfuse, bit of miscontrol there by Solar. We'll lose one, we'll lose 2 queens. So nice pick here by Bjorn. At the same time, Raven harassing to the middle line. 4 drones going to be going down, and Bjorn, he does find some damage here. So pressing it. Takes down 2 queens. That takes down 6 drones as more drones are falling. Yeah, the Raven harass catching Solar off guard. And this is worth it. This is worth it. So far, Bjorn takes the lead. Deals some nice damage. And we'll see where he takes us from here. As he's building up to 5 Raxes. We expect the aggression to continue. As we kind of mentioned before, this is a very small map. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored. And I would not be surprised if Bjorn turns this into a 3-base all-in, 8 Rax. And we'll see if Solar can recover. Getting to Baneley speed. Early Eva Chamber out of Solar. Interesting. We'll see if this is for safety infestors. Solar has to get the hell out of here. As Bjorn is still rallying forward. Solar going for a run by. Let's go. Moves that across the map. Raven this time doesn't get much done. The creep is receding. We do have gases on the way and a second factory, so Bjorn, he's not going for a 3-base all-in. He's taking up and looking to expand. Yep, there it is, 4th CC. So Bjorn is playing out a standard game. Still applying a lot of pressure there. The run by didn't quite amount to anything here. Solo pulling back. There's another queen. Solar's still just trying to mass his army. This position is brutal, at least until the tumors get knocked down. Fun fact, when we were judging this map, this is something that we did bring up, that, that these tumors would have to be knocked down. Otherwise, this position would just be brutal to deal with. Solar getting ready for this round. Coming in from behind. Oh! Bit of miscontrol there, bit of misparty, but it does get on top of the tanks. So he will clean this up. Oh, but he's out of position. Yeah, he will lose the drones. He will lose the expansion itself. Hatchery falls. Oh, the Raven. The Raven harass continues. Let's go. Oh, get out. Raven gets sniped, but honestly, pretty worthwhile here. Like, a lot of damage was done. Solo, who was distracted at a couple of key moments as well. Was not bad. Bjorn does somewhat pick up. I didn't have room. I didn't have enough medics for everything. Did bleed out some units. Now, what I will say is that Beyond has been doing some nice damage here, but Sola's maxed out, and this entire time, if you remember, Sola, he was going for the early pit into the Hive. The Hive is done, Hive upgrades are on the way, Ultra Production's on the production is always on the way as well. And that's going to be a big power spike here for Solar, getting into those Ultras. Beyond, ideally, with this aggressive style, he would have broken one of these bases. He has yet to do so. Took down top right, but that didn't really matter as much. So Beyond, he's just not achieving enough damage. Not yet. Oh. Solo is bleeding out a lot of lings. Solo now collapsing in. Catching one of the tanks on siege. Solo, he will clean up at the same time. Double drop on the right hand side as Solo's in position. He does defend. And now it's time to counterattack. Here come the Ultras. Up. The tanks, they barely do siege up. They get one of the Ultras. Not just the one. Your second Ultra barely goes down. The Planetary Force, 21 SEV kills. And again, Beyond, he just did not do enough damage. Yes, it was in the face of Solar, but as you mentioned, didn't kill workers, didn't kill bases, did not slow Solar down. Not enough. And Solar, he's running away with this. Nice drop on the top right. Very necessary damage here. Does cause a massive distraction. Solar, again, he's not in position. He overreacted to the drop. Yeah. Okay. Gun takes out a base. Oh. Solar, he attempts to drop into the bases. Forcing with a friendly fire. But Solar, he has to remax here. Where are the injections? Yeah, we're missing some injects here and there. We're missing some larva. Solar, he has 1,500 minerals, but he can't spend his money. The injections. Oh no. How many queens do we have? 6. There are enough queens. But Solar's macro has been slipping. It's making this closer than it should have been. Beyond drops into the main base. Has repositioned, took down one of the expansions earlier, of course. And Beyond is fighting well. As Beyond, he is spreading himself a little bit thin here. Drop in the main, drop here at the forward base. Tanks are spread out. I'm going to calm down. Soul sitting in front of the drop. But at least all this aggression means that Beyond re-expands, right? He retakes his expansion, getting it back up, rebuilding. Beyond is still in this. Taking a better fight. Solar overextending. We get some decent types on the Ultras, but there's so much more Ling Bane. Catching out Beyond, drop into the main base. SCVs are finally going down. Oh no, the tanks are on their own. Takes down all 3 tanks, and Beyond, he commits. He just keeps on pushing. Production is delayed, he gets surrounded, and Beyond, he should lose this army. Thankfully for Beyond, there's no anti-air, so the medevacs, they do keep getting away. They do keep pulling out, but the Spire's in production, and we should soon be seeing Corruptors. So like, he's almost there. As Lings, they do get into the mineral line, and Baileys are rolling in as well. 23 SCV kills. Where's Solar? He's ready for the drop. Oof. Catching out some of the medevacs. Does get caught out. Oh, Queens have a rough rotation here. It looks like Solar, he was probably injecting, like mass injecting, cycling through his buildings. But the Queens, they get caught off of creep. We're getting messy. Getting very messy here. Oh. So losing bases, losing workers. Both armies are maxing out. Bjarne's super maxed. So Bjarne's down in workers, but he has a massive army to compensate. Solar's got his corruptors. He has his anti-air. He can finally deal with the drops. He can get there. Pushing into these entrenched positions is going to be difficult without Vipers. Whether it's Vipers, whether it's Microbial Shroud, one of these two is what we need. So we're going to try to brute force instead. Once again, dropping into the main base. That's in the command center. Getting a couple of tanks. Oh, good. Still a little bit messy here. Beating out a lot of ultras, expensive losses for Solar. But does he get the expansion? And Solar's win condition is just make sure that Bjarne never expands. Like Bjarne, he's on what, 1.5 base economy. His naturals mined out, his main base is mined out. Bjarne doesn't have much to keep him going. Bjarne needs a base. So it does cause a distraction. Moving in on the left. So far, there is no backup expansion yet. So I get spotted. Goes away. Against Solar, he's looking a little more solid here now that he has his anti-air, a couple of infestors. He's just waiting for Bjarne to push in. Rotating over. Gets the tank. Bjarne pushing into the siege line. Sorry, Solar even. Yeah, not ideal, beating out a lot of units. Solar gonna calm down. Calm down, back. Nice Spell Builder, yeah, very nice Spell. We'll chain Fong as well on top of the Ghosts. The Ghosts are getting caught out. And massive losses here for Bjarne. That's what 6 Ghosts going down. Most of the Novax as well. And finally, Solar takes a fight. Catching out, yeah, 7 Ghosts. 7 Ghosts are tanks. We do see Bjarne attempted to expand. Will be able to maintain this position. Solar has to pull away, preserves his corruptors. Nice run by towards the left. Going for the Academy. Academy goes down. Beyond still barely holding on. Oh, and Solar, he's working towards Broodlords. And Broodlords are on the way. Beyond does finish his planetary though. With his base, he can remax. But this entire time, he's just been stuck at home. He's been stuck at home. It's been a very intense, very aggressive game so far, and we've had a back and forth. But once Solo got his Corruptors, the aggression ended. The job stopped. Solo has been shutting Beyond down. Even here, bleeding out, what, 3-4 Marauders. Trading minerals for gas. Broodlords are finally on the way. And how many ghosts are there? 3. Oh god. There's 3 ghosts, 0 Vikings. Beyond, he is not ready for Broodlords. He's not ready, man. There's the scan. He sees. Oh, right. There's no Academy. No shot. That's why there are no more ghosts. The Academy's still being rebuilt. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. There you go. The Academy is done. We have 1 ghost in production. Remember, there are 3 ghosts of the main army. This planetary will go down. Oh, we're throwing away the Ultras. Rebels are moving in. And again, there's no answer. Oh, respect the ghosts. Landing a couple of snipes. Jump is dealt with. Broodlord still pushing forward. And Bjorn is broke. He's been broke for quite some time. It's just pushing into, pushing up these ramps and pushing into the main army is quite difficult here, even if you're up in supply. So Solar, he hasn't been able to go for the kill. But now he does catch the army on siege. That's a lot of tanks. Yeah, brutal fight here. Solar, he will chase down Bjorn. Bjorn barely gets up the ramp. And GG gets called. Solar, he will extend the lead 2-0 for Team Falcons. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth. Again, we did have Bjorn and Solar. I mean, Bjorn, he was looking very in form as he was able to recover from the earlier damage, was popping off, killing bases, killing mineral lines, the Raven harass, of course, but more importantly, the drop play. And it was looking very shaky there for Solar, especially when we saw he was losing queens and he was having a hard time keeping up with his macro because there was so much going on. But eventually, Solar, he was able to stabilize. Eventually, he was able to get his drop off into the main base, able to distract Bjorn, able to snipe some key buildings, some key bases on the fringe, towards the fringe sides of the map, and eventually work towards Aspire and work towards his Corruptors. Before all of that, though, he was able to make it until Hive Tech, right? He survived until the infestation was done, the Hive was done, and the Ultras did pop out. Once that occurred, Solar, he was able to slow down Bjorn and eventually stabilize, and then just snowball from there. GG. GG, well played. So Solar, he was able to survive the aggression of Bjorn, and now we're getting into our next game. We're getting into our 2v2. Oh boy, the pressure is on Shopify, but we do have one of the best 2v2 teams in the league stepping up to the plate. It is going to be both Bunny and Rogue going up against Harstem and Lambo. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful. We have Team Harambo going up against trying to come up with a name for Bunny and Rogue. Okay, let's see, we go. Up against Team Falcons. The spawning is up left-hand corner of Gem Garden. We do have the blue team. We have the teal Zerg player in Rogue. We have the blue Terran in Bunny. We have Team Falcons. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the red Zerral, Clem, and Lambo. We have the orange Protoss in Hearthstone. We have Shopify. Shopify Rebellion. Here we go. The pressure is on as Team Falcons are up 2-0, and now is the time to begin the comeback. As we mentioned in the past, both Hearthstone and Lambo, they are very experienced in 2v2. I would say they are they are one of the best teams in 2v2 in this league, specifically like amongst all these teams, amongst all these duos. I would say that Serral and Trigger are definitely up there as well. I think they might be the best, but Lambo and Hearthstone are not too far behind them either in regards or in terms of their 2v2 prowess. So this is kind of the moment for Shopify to recover, to bounce back, and to start to take a lead, to get a point on the board. It's up to Team Haramba. Let's go. As we have a gasless opener out of Lambo. Okay, interesting. Does open up gasless. Meanwhile, you see Hearthstone opening up 2 gates. So a more aggressive start out of Hearthstone and a greedier start out of Lambo. Speaking of greed, geez, we're going back to it. We did criticize Rogue for this in the previous series. Now, what is Rogue going for? He's going hatch, gas, pool. Hyper greed out of Rogue. What this means is that Bunny's gonna have to defend by himself. Bunny's gonna have to go for that solo defense early on, as the spawning pool for Rogue is heavily delayed. Now, if you remember, this did work against Team Liquid. This did work against Clem. It was Clem alongside Mana, but in the rematch, Clem and Mana, they just went for an all-in. They just went for an all-in, and they were able to punish Rogue for going for this build, and we're seeing it again out of Rogue. At this point, I feel like you've shown your hand. I feel like this is too obvious. We've seen it so often. Almost every game out of Rogue in 2v2 has been going hyper greedy, and we have that aggressive response out of Hearthstone, and we'll see if they can punish. We'll see if they can scout what's going on and punish. Again, I would like to believe that Hearthstone and Lambo were watching the previous games. I would like to believe that they know what Rogue is up to, just because, I mean, we can call it as well. Like in every game, Rogue in 2v2, Rogue has gone for these hyper greedy builds. We gotta punish. eBay block on Hearthstone. Twilight Council's on the way. Now, there is a build that we could be going for here that Lambo and Hearthstone have already done once, and Scarlett and Hearthstone did attempt as well in their previous series. If you remember, it was a 2-base, 10-gate all-in. How do you afford that? Well, Lambo and Scarlett, they just fed. Right, they just fed all of their money to Hearthstone, and Hearthstone just went for a 2-base all-in. This is possible in this tournament and not during the 2v2 league, because in the 2v2 league there is a mod that they play with, which does limit the amount of how early you can transfer resources. If you remember, in New Thermal 2v2 circuits, they extended the time that doesn't allow you to trade resources. In vanilla 2v2, you can trade it much earlier, and that's what we're going for. It looks to be the case. Where Lambo, he's taking 2 gases at the natural, 2 gases in the main. Lambo, he has no link speed. You can see here, Lambo, he has no link speed, he has no lair, he has 0 units except for queens. Lambo, he's basically just feeding Hearthstone. He's just giving Hearthstone all the money, and you can see here, all in. It's going to be a 10-gate, technically 1-base all in by Hearthstone, but he's powered by Lambo. Like, Lambo is just a bank, basically. He's just a bank. He's giving everything to Hearthstone, and you can see here, yeah, we have 8 gates on the way, 2 gates already done, 10-gate all in. We've seen this before by Hearthstone, and this does hit very hard. Going up to 11 gateways. So the 11-gate setup. Meanwhile, ooh, we do see that Rogue and Bunny are pushing early. The gateways are still on the way, and Lambo has nothing. Oh god. Lambo has nothing. It's just Hearthstone. It's the 1v2. Yeah, Hearthstone's on his own. By design, of course. Banelings, they get into the mineral line, but they're going for the Stalkers. And Hearthstone, the gateways are still on the way. This all-in hits hard, but it's still getting there. Yeah, and Rogue, sorry, I should say that Lambo and Hearthstone are not the only ones that have been looking up their opponents. As Bane, they're going for the middle line, they're going for Hearthstone. Banelings, they peel up into both bases. Queen gets surrounded. Spinecrawler is still on the way. Oof. Yeah, Spinecrawler takes a lot of hits here, and with that, Team Falcons, they are doing it. The gateways are coming online. We have a lot of warpins available. Those gateways get depowered. Oh my god! The Atosis pylon. Gateways get depowered. Stalkers are falling. This natural base is forfeits. We do see Lambo, he does hold on to his main. Yeah, Lambo's holding on, but Hearthstone on his own, he will lose everything. And again, this is a powerful build from Hearthstone and Lambo, but GG gets called, and Team Falcons, Bunny and Rogue, they shut down the cheeky build of Lambo and Hearthstone, and they do extend their lead 3-0. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, this was the third time that we've seen Lambo and Hearthstone go for this build, go for this essentially like this all-in, where Lambo, all he does is just feed Hearthstone. He just feeds Hearthstone, gives him all the money, and Hearthstone turns his build into a massive Blinkstalker all-in with 10 plus gateways. But as you saw, the game was still in production. They were still in production. They were still not yet done. There was a window in time where they were very vulnerable, and I assumed that Rogue and Bunny would be greedy. They would be greedy themselves and be passive in the early game. But no, they ramped it up. They went for their own Bane Bust. They went for their own Cyclone push as well. They broke Harambo before they could really get going. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive play here by Team Falcons. Both Bunny and Rogue, they're getting better at 2v2. Like, you can see it. Like, you can see their progression over the course of this tournament. They're getting better and better at 2v2. And the pressure is heavily on Shopify. Oh boy. Things are looking a little bit dire here for the Shopify boys, and we'll see if they can recover. The pressure is on. Up next, we are loading into our next matchup. It's going to be a best of one between Bunny and Lambo. Oh boy, it's going to be a tough one here. We'll see how Lambo will approach this. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Andromeda, we have the German Zerg player. We have the German Zerg, we have the red Zerg representing Shopify, as they are heavily behind in this series. They've got to bounce back here and now to start that comeback. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. We go. As Lambo is going to take his expansion, likewise Bunny setting up back at home. Here we go. And welcome one to Andromeda. Andromeda is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. 3 base all-ins are very favored, and 3 base aggression is very favored here on this map. The rush distance from third base to third base is very direct and very short, so we have seen a lot of successful aggression on Andromeda. We'll see who will be the aggressor though this time. Lambo, we could see Roach play. Like, I would not be opposed to seeing a Roach heavy play and Roach heavy styles in this matchup on this map. Otherwise, we could see Bunny double down on 3 bases as well. We'll see. Keep an eye on our players. So far, CC first. Okay, Bunny. We are going to be a little bit greedy here. Bunny going for the CC on the low ground before the rack. So greedy play here by Bunny, and he should not be punished by Lambo. As Lambo did go for a standard opener, did pull out, or I should say should be pulling out. Overlord moves out across him up to scout. Yeah, there we go. Does pull out, so he's not going to be rushing into any kind of earlier attack. Going for a standard opener. And Bunny will get away with a slightly more economic build than usual. And again, because it will CC first, that's why we're going for the Marine follow-up. No Reaper. Bunny is cutting corners. Does move out, does scout. And we are going for the Roach one. Let's go. So I mentioned before that I was looking forward to seeing Roach play on Andromeda. We are going for the Roaches. Lambert, he moves out. He's aware that there was no Reaper Scout. He sees the CC's already done. The Orbital's already complete as well. So Lambert, he sees how greedy Bunny has been. Now, what is scary and what is going to be in favor of Lambert here is a lack of scouting. Bunny, no Reaper Scouts, no follow-up either. It's a late factory. Remember that. Late factory, later Hellion production, later scouting, later realization of what Lambo is up to. Roach one's almost done. So Lambo, he should be pushing with his early roaches. And Bunny has no idea. Here we go, 8 roaches on the way. Queens are going to be waddling across the map as well. Lambo, he's committing. And Bunny, he won't realize until the Hellions pop out. It's going to be so late, so delayed. At this point, Bunny's going to have to evacuate. He cannot defend the natural. He cannot hold on to the natural. I didn't even know if he can defend the main. Stim is on the way. Rushing into Stim, and no Banshee either. And I think Lambo's about to begin that comeback. Okay, he's about to begin. Lambo's pushing, and now Bunny knows. And again, he has to evacuate. He cannot defend the low ground. He has to pull away. Bunkers being thrown down. Marauder production as well. But again, without Banshees, without Cyclone, without the early defensive setup here, it's going to be difficult as Hellions already falling. They're losing 1 Hellion so far. Boys are being pulled. The bunker is not yet done. No. Yeah, the bunker, it's going to go down as well. Does not finish. Queens, they walk back. Queens are waddle back. It looks like Lambo's going to drone from here. And he's content with this damage. It doesn't help that Lambo is supply blocked. Lambo is heavily supply blocked. So Overlord, sorry, yeah, Blink Speed on the way. And he's droning. So it's possible that maybe Lambo did want to commit to an all-in, but the supply block didn't really help. As Bunny does break out. Well, eventually, Jesus. Yeah, still some brutal trades. Nice hit on the Viking. Oh, Bunny, he wants those roaches. He wants them. Up. Gets one. Jesus. He wants uno más. Gets it. Oh my god, the power of the 1 Marauder. Jesus. Just sniping 4 roaches. 4 roaches good. And Marauders are pretty good. Behind this, Lambo, he drones up to 43. Lambo's making another wave of roaches. And Bunny's not ready for this. Bunny, he's got 4 more Raxes on the way. Bunny, he needs time for his production. And again, Lambo's not droning. Yeah, Lambo's not droning up. He's getting ready for a Roach Ravager Ling all in. He's moving out across the map, and Bunny, once again, he has no idea what's coming his way. Bunny's playing blind. He doesn't see the bush. And again, there's no bunkers. There is some SimCity to work with here. There's a bunker on the high ground. And hopefully he's able to siege up safely. The tank is exposed. We get spotted. Boys are being pulled. Depot is looking to go down. We try to mass repair. Oh. And the boys are being pulled. Barely holding on. The tank will go down with 1 more bile. Tank falls. Remember, there's no bunker. And Bunny should be broken. Yeah, here he should be broken. He will lose everything. 20 SCV kills. And Lambo snowballs out of control. He's done enough damage already. Cripples the economy. And again, in the end, Bunny's greed was punished. Like we mentioned, the lack of scouting here because of the opener of choice. Bunny's just taking so much damage throughout the course of this entire game. And Lambo is backing off. Double levers. Lambo can drone. He can expand. Yeah, he's just going to play this out. So we're going to back off at macro. Oh boy. And again, Lambo is very comfortable here. Bunny at this point, his one chance is to go for an all-in. The one chance that Bunny has is Lambo being greedy, right? Like if Lambo double expands, drones up, invest into these upgrades, and if Lambo gets caught mid-transition, mid all these upgrades finishing, then Bunny can pull this off. Like, Bunny does have a comparable army, true. And this is it. It's all or nothing for Bunny. There's no macroing from here. He's not making SCVs. He shouldn't be. Ah, no. Ling Runway does catch reinforcements. That's a lot of Marines going down. Yeah, caught a move command. And we're going for the base trade. We commit. Back at home, there's not that many roaches left over. No banings either, okay. Biles, they shut down one of the tanks. One tank goes down, but Bunny gets in. Yeah, takes down the Queens, takes down the Ravagers. Bunny, he can end the game with this army. He's almost there. Boys are being pulled. Does kite back well. Okay, kites back. Nice target firing on the roaches. Roaches, no shot. Bunny's done it. Bunny, he's done it. Takes care of all the roaches. We spoke about it, but again, all these upgrades, they don't matter. The upgrades don't matter. Waste of money here. Likewise at the base, the droning. Lambo, he was a little bit too greedy here. He's trying to buy time for more roaches. Comes in from behind. Gets a tank. Yeah, tank barely. Oh my god, barely goes down. Lambo, he's holding on. One marauder left. We're rallying. Buddy, he almost did. He was so close. Buddy, he's so close to killing Lambo. Casito, because if he had like 3 more marauders. But it's just Mass Marine. He's muling his heart out, transferring over. And thankfully, now that Lambo is aware of how much danger he's in, he's not droning. Like, he's he's fixated on army production. There's no marauders left here. Although the Biles. Ooh, Bile connects. Yeah, Bunny was distracted. Bunny tries to get on top of those roaches. Does neither Ravager at least. He's rallying pure Marines. He has no money for Marauders. Oh, the tank overextends. Yeah, the tank does go down. Brutal overextension. Bunny sims in. Oh, there's 7 more roaches in production. 9 more roaches even. They're still on the way. Bunny going for the chase. He wants the Ravage. Ooh, Biles takes down a medevac. And medevac goes down. Boys are being pulled. Takes down all the boys. They're still rallying in. Tank has arrived. No shot. It's still so close. But now there are no Ravagers. There's no easy way to deal with the tanks. Without Ravagers and tanks, they can pop up. And they are. Yeah, the tanks are popping up. He has to make sure he avoids friendly fire. Barely, not enough Marines. But he does save the tanks just barely. Saves the tanks. Bunny, he's crazy. No shot. Bunny was dead in this game, and he's almost killing Lambert. Okay, rotating over. Lambert down to 34 workers. Lambert still doesn't have any Ravagers. Again, without Ravagers, it is a little bit concerning trying to deal with these tanks. Lings, they get caught out. Nice catch there from Bunny. So he's pushing forward. His tanks are a little bit far behind. So he doesn't have the best support. And Lings, they try to catch reinforcements. Tank boys going up. Oh, and Lambert's pushing within tank range. Yeah, better fight for Bunny. He does outtrade. Oh, brutal friendly fire. The last he does outtrade, cleans up all the roaches. GG gets called. No shot. As Bunny, he does take it, does extend the lead even further here for Team Falcons. GG. That is crazy. GG, well played. Bunny was dead, by the way. Buddy, he was dead. He was down to 18 SCVs. He was on 18 SCVs for like 5 minutes. Like for 5 solid minutes there, he was down less than half the worker count of Lambo. But as you mentioned, we did as you know, we did that the caster thing. We were like, oh, technically, like Bunny can still win this game if Lambo, if he expands, if he drones, if he invests into upgrades, if he starts spending money in things other than his army. And that happened. We would just say that just to say something, but it did happen. In the end, Lambo, he was too greedy. He was too greedy. He expanded. He droned up heavily. He invested into his Baneliness, into double melee upgrades as well, into melee, into carapace, into all these resources, all this investment into things that didn't help in the defense, which meant that the all-in from Bunny actually was terrifying and did kill Lambo. Did kill him in the end. Again, Lambo, he was just a little bit too greedy in the aftermath, a little bit too complacent after he had taken a massive lead, and he got caught with his pants down. GG. GG, well played. Whew, Bunny does take it. Ay, ay, ay. Format is super cool, but I wish they went for shorter matches and longer sets. Like instead of best of 1 per set, they went best of 3. I mean, that's the WTL format a little bit, where WTL is best of 2s, right? Like WTL is best of 2. It's like the greater, like best of 5 is constructed by best of 2s instead of best of 1s. So WTL have you for that. But this is more old school. This is more old school pro league formats, and it does allow for more upsets as well. It means that if you can come in with one sniper build, you can win it for yourself. Like that's the better thing about this compared to best of 3s, right? Where you can have an upset. You can have, like we had in the past, like Kelazur come out and beat Maru and win one game, and he wins it, right? He beats Maru. Like there's suddenly so much more kind of on the line in a best of 1, and so much more variance is available and potential for more upsets as well. So it is a different format, different vibe, I should say, different kind of show. Whew. But with that, we have a massive lead for Team Falcons. They're up 4-0. Bam, as we just, there we go. As we update the scores, Team Falcons are up 4-0, but remember, this is a best of 9. What does that mean? One more. Team Falcons, they are 1 game away from winning the entire series and knocking Shopify out of the tournament. And now it's time for the team captains to field their next set of lineups. Okay. So, what do we have next? We have Dream and Scars, we have Gem Garden, we have Mothership, we have Ruby Rock. Dream and Scars is a bit of a larger map. It can be prone to longer games, depending on the matchup though. We'll get into it, depending on the spawn locations. There is some RNG to Dream and Scars because it is a 4-player spawn map with 2 possible spawn locations. We'll get there. Gem Garden is another 2v2. I still do favor Hearthstone and Lambo, but they did get sniped. They got sniped earlier. I still do favor them against Rogue and Bunny if Shopify can get there, right? Everything hinges on that game on Dream and Scars. It all does hinge on that. And here we go. Here we go. We do have our lineups, and bam. Oh boy. Dream and Scars TVT between Bunny and Beyond. I was about to say that we have seen a lot of TVT on Dream and Scars. There are some really nasty positions you can set up with your tanks, and we did see that between Cure and Beyond previously as well. So again, sorry, I think Ryung as well. I mean, we saw a lot of TVT on Dream and Scars, so we're seeing another TVT. We have once again Bunny Rogue versus Lambo and Hearthstone on Gem Garden. No surprises there. We have Rogue versus Lambo on Mothership, and we have Solar versus Scarlett on Ruby Rock. Oh boy. Okay. Interesting. Looks like Hearthstone isn't feeling too confident in certain matchups because Hearthstone is not playing in any of the 1v1s, only in the 2v2s. So Hearthstone is kind of relegating himself to that position here. But again, it all comes down to the TVT right now on Dream and Scars. Like 1 game at a time, every game matters that much more for Shopify. 1 loss and they are out of the tournament. Their tournament life is on the line. Tournament life is going to be on the line here. Do you need to remember to set up myself? Bunny versus Beyond. For those that are curious, basically the way that the best of 9 works here is that we play our first 4 games, which we just did, and then we get a roster reset. Because, as you know, when it comes to this format, you can only ever field a player once. But now the rosters are reset, so now you can refield players. That's why we can see Beyond again, even though we played earlier against Solar. So We have that roster reset, or that roster refresh. And now we have our next potential 4 games. Oh boy. And again, that was crazy out of Bunny. The tenacity, papi. Ah. Yes, here we go. We are getting into our next game here. We're getting into potentially the final game of the series as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Dream and Scars. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is Byun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is a Bunny. We're putting it all on the line. We're putting it all on the line. We have 2 SCVs being sent across the map. Beyond, he's going Proxy Turax. Proxy Turax in the face of Bunny. It's in his face, papi. It's in his face. Now, welcome to Dream and Scars. Now, depending on the spawn location, you can have a pocket base. Here, there is no pocket expansion. So this is a really bold move here. You can see there's a little alcove here on the right-hand side away from your main attack path. It's possible that if Bunny goes down the ramp for an SCV scout, he will not see this. He will not see the proxy as it is barely out of vision. So a very cheeky position here for Byun. We'll see if Bunny does recognize double gas. Oof, double gas opener. Bunny is going for a faster factory. He's going for a very safe build. So very safe. Bunny, he will have the tools to defend. He will have the tools to defend. Likewise, there's only 1 Reaper cliff into the main here on the left-hand side. I believe there's no Reaper cliff here. There is a cliff face on the right, but that is further out of the way. So limited Reaper cliffs here for Byun. Yeah, Bunny does get the depot just in case here on the right-hand side. And we'll see what Byun can get done. As there's that factory on the way. And again, for Bunny, it's all about protecting that factory, keeping it alive, and making sure he gets his Hellions up and running. If he can get his Hellions, he can end the game. We can shut this down, I should say. As the Reapers are building up. Oh, Bunny out of position. He's scouting for proxies. And if he overextends, then he will take a shot to the face. Oh! Bunny does move out. Reapers move in. Bunny's out of position. He's going for the factory. Yeah, it does go for the factory. The factory is going to be delayed. Massive pickup. Factory's delayed. We'll lose one of the SCVs. We'll lose 2. We'll lose 3. Yeah, 3 SCVs, 4 SCVs go down. There's a lot of damage. A lot of damage already here. Again, Bunny having some miscontrol. Bunny was out of position, and Bunny does take extra damage. And Byun, has he done it? Oh, no! Oh, my God. Oh, the defense, the boys. The SCVs, they shut down the Reapers, and Bunny does hold, but he did sustain a lot of damage. He also canceled the CC. So he's taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of losses, but the Hellions are now building up, and Byun has to get the hell out of here. He has to get ready to pull out. CC on the high ground. And Byun has taken a slight economic lead. Does force a lift up. Byun getting a CC on location. Oh, you got Bunny. Very nice game sense. Yeah, he assumes that this is a distraction to allow the Reapers in, and Byun, he's going in. Yeah, he does slip in. Will delay the CC. And we'll get 2 more SCV kills. Oh my God, we'll get 3! 3 more SCVs go down, 4 more. Oh God, this is brutal damage. This is critical damage being dealt here. 8 SCV kills, that should not have happened. Yeah, Bunny, he was out of position. And Bunny, he has to counterattack. He has to find some damage across the map. Cyclone is on the way. The Cyclone will shut down any kind of aggression. And Byun takes a lead. Byun takes a very comfortable lead. His CC is going to be slightly delayed, but only slightly. Mech Fuel is not indicative of mech. This is just a way for Bjorn to defend early on, to defend with his cyclones. As he's setting up his Raxes. And from here, Bjorn again, he's looking very comfortable. Looking very comfortable. He did do enough. Jumping across the map. Nada. There we go. Some awkward pathing when it comes to the Reaper. Yeah, very awkward. Gets a scout, confirms the 1-1. Confirms no tech up on the starport, so he knows that there's no Banshee play. Oh, as Bjorn, he will take this fight, shuts down the Cyclone, gets into the mineral line. And again, this is getting out of... Oh, the Raven goes down as well. Ay, ay, ay. And the Cyclones get away. This is brutal. Now, when it comes to TVT, Bunny is miles behind. That is true, but there are ways to recover. At the end of the day, you can be down 10, 20, 30 army supply. You can still win a fight. You can still win a fight, especially if you outposition your opponents. Mid-game TVT is very positional based. Oh god, he gets another Raven. Gee, yeah. I remember that I thought that was Bunny typing GG. That was brutal. Ah, god. Este Bunny. I'll split his Ravens. Now, Bunny does have a tank lead. Oh. Does have a tank lead. And I feel like Bunny has to go for a 2-base all-in. I mean, there are two ways to go about this. Either you go for an all-in or you try to turtle up. Okay, he's gonna turtle. Okay, fair enough. So Bunny's gonna try to turtle up, defend, and try to recover here. Meanwhile, Bjorn is already getting his 3rd base up and running. It's already complete. Okay, Bunny's pushing, thankfully. He's expanding behind this, but he's still moving out. Bunny still has a bit of a tank advantage, slightly. He's getting a faster fit tank, but oh god, he runs into pre-siege tank. Oh god, no. He does walk into pre-siege tanks. Oh, not like this. He checked with his face, didn't quite work out. And Bunny should lose everything here. He should lose everything here. Lose all his tanks, lose all the Cyclones, we'll lose all the Vikings. GG. GG gets called, and Bjorn, he will take a lead, or he will take the game. He'll begin the comeback for Shopify. GG. Whew, GG, well played again. That was a disastrous game for Bunny. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. That was brutal, losing 8 SCVs at the start of the game. That was already game-ending damage, but not just that, he lost all of his Ravens, his CC was delayed, his factory was delayed, everything was just went, it just went so south there for Bunny so quickly. And with that, congratulations. Bjorn does take the game, and we have begun the comeback. Let's go. Let us go. The comeback has begun. And we'll see if the comeback can continue, as up next we're getting into our 2v2. Once again, it is going to be Lambo and Harsum with their rematch against Bunny and Rogue. Oh boy. Just to set things up. And jump into Gem Garden. go. We have our rematch here in this best of 9, and we'll see if we can continue the comeback here. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Gem Garden, we do have the South Korean duo. We have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the blue Zerg in Rogue, we have the blue Terran in Bunny, we have Team Falcons. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the Zerg and Protoss duo. We have Lambo alongside Harstem. We have Shopify. And the fanfare is a little bit broken for 2v2s. It's okay, it's okay. But here we go. We do have our rematch. Now, if you recall, last game, we had Harstem and Lambo being very greedy. We saw them, I mean, I say very greedy. We saw that Lambo made 0 units. He made 0 units. He was basically just acting as a bank for Harstem, just giving him all of his money that he could, all of his resources, and Harstem was going for a massive 11 gate all-in. But Rogue and Bunny hit first. They were able to strike first, they were able to break through and actually break Harstem Lambo before their gateways got up and running and end the game. They were able to end the game then and there. And we'll see how our players do adjust this time. Hatch gas pool, standard opener this time out of Lambo. Likewise, gate expand out of Harstem. So much more standard openers. At the same time, we do have Rogue going hatch gas pool as well. There's no triple hatchery opener. Okay. So everyone's being honest. Nothing crazy this time. That was on the same map too. If you recall, specifically for this tournament, there's only one 2v2 map. It's a little bit unfortunate. It would be nice if they had a little bit more variety. But Gem Garden is the only 2v2 map that is played on this tournament in the CranKy Season 2. So unfortunately, there's not much variety when it comes to the maps, but it's all on Gem Garden. As we have the early Eva Chamber here by Rogue. Rogue rushing to +1 melee into a Ling heavy style. Meanwhile, we do have Harstem going for a Stargate opener himself. Lambo just droning, saturating, building up his economy. With early +1 melee, we're expecting an early Ling Flood out of Rogue. We're expecting early aggression. As there's no other reason to get +1 melee this quickly. Likewise, we're still mining minerals. Sorry, we're still mining gas. Okay. Yeah, still mining gas. Stay back in. They attempt to get a scout off. They get eyes on saturation at least. They got eyes on the third base timing. And again, Link Speed and Melee, they're almost complete. I'm still a little bit perplexed by the gas that's being mined. We'll see if Rogue gives resources to Bunny, or if he's going for a lair. As Bunny's being very economic. Third CC before Starport. Okay. So we have a greedy or a more economic build here by Bunny. Rogue is going for the lair. He's still mining gas. And we'll see what he can achieve with +1 melee. Meanwhile, the Oracle has arrived. Harstem is moving out. I believe the queen count is a little bit low. Yeah, there's only 2 queens, so the queen count is very low here. The Oracle does move in. No Spore in position. Drone's going to be going down. Gets 1, he gets 2. It's 2 drone kills. Meanwhile, the Cyclone will shut down the Oracle. Very nice scan. Oh my god, Bunny. Nice scan, nice pickup. I was a little bit concerned by the lack of queens, but hey, the Cyclones, I make up for that. Do make up for that. Meanwhile, Ling Runby is on the way. Here comes the Runby. Lambo thankfully is making a wave of Lings, so he will have some units to defend. Again, that's a lot of Lings. Melee is done. Oh, Rogi pulls out. Pulls out, he turns back. Oh no, he led the links to the Reaper. And Rogi pulls away. Rogi pulls away, doesn't really have enough to really take any of these armies. Except for the Zerglings, true. Thanks to his upgrades. Zerglings he can deal with. It gets us over the hatchery as well. Let's pull away there. Has to respect those reinforcements. Rogue pulls away. We can see Lambert making a massive wave of Lingbane behind us as well. Bane the Nest is almost done. And Bunny is getting to mech. So we saw this last time as well. Not in this broadcast, but in day one. In day one, Bunny did play a lot of mech. He actually had a really strong showing against Clem, if you recall, against Team Liquid. Team Falcons did look quite strong in the 2v2. So mech is on the way for Bunny. Rogue is trying to buy some time. Lambert, he does get the queen. Nice pickup. Queen goes down, gets into the mineral line as well. Better trades for Lambo. Lambo is just rallying Morling across the map. 20 Morlings in production. And Rogue is being overwhelmed. Lambo has the better upgrades. He has 1-1. And Rogue only has +1 attack. No carapace. No carapace upgrades. Bunny doesn't really have much to defend. Bunny is still working his production. Catching at the Hellions. Nice catch here by Lambo. Shots at the Hellions, the Marines as well. Lambo breaks through. We have Lings everywhere. Yeah, Lings in the third base of Rogue. Lings in the third base of Bunny. He gets into all the tanks, forcing friendly fire. Oh god! Yeah, it does force some friendly fire. Brutal damage. And Lambo's popping up. He's popping up. Shuts down the middle line, shuts down the bases. Aliens do connect. Harsam actually helps a little bit. I mean, Harsam has been mainly focusing on the Cyclone defense. Has been building up himself. Oh wait, has Harsam been feeding? It looks like it. Yeah, I mean, to be able to afford all this, it looks like Harsam has been feeding some resources. Some more Lings rallying in. Yeah, we just saw Harsam give a bunch of minerals here to Lambo. Base is going down. Oh, can he get the CC? Not quite. It doesn't get the CC, but does snipe the third base of Rogue. Rogue is down to 2 expansions. Ay. And Bunny, he finally has his mech army, but too little too late. The damage has been done. It took a little bit too long for that army to get online. Took too long. Nice aces. Stasis goes off, and Rogue is crippled. Rogue, he has been crippled. He's been losing base after base. It's turning into a 1v2. It's just Bunny. Zello orbit into the main. Lings, they get on top of the tanks. They force friendly fire, and the tanks are on their own. Yeah, they're all on their own. Brutal pickups here. Losing about 6-7 tanks. And Harambo, they've done it. They've redeemed themselves. After that first game where we had a crazy upset and both Rogue and Bunny took them down. Here, GG gets called. Too much damage. Rogue taps out. And Lambo and Harstam, they will extend their lead. They fight back for Shopify. GG. Whew, GG, well played. The comeback continues. Bjorn, he led the charge. He was able to get a game off of Bunny. Likewise here, Harstam and Lambert, they also take a game off of Bunny and Rogue, so they do have some momentum on their side here. Again, the comeback has begun, and we'll see if it can continue here. As up next, we do have a 1v1, a best of one between Lambert and Rogue. If you recall earlier, I believe Lambert went up against Solar, but now Rogue does step up to the plate. No, wait, sorry, it was Lambo against Bunny, that's it, of course. And it was Rogue against Scarlett, that's how we started the series. So Rogue was able to cheese and take out Scarlett, as Rogue was hyper aggressive. We'll see if that aggressive nature continues against Lambo as well, and we'll see if Lambo is better prepared than Scarlett was. We'll see as we're loading into Mothership. Alright, loading in. And again, Team Falcons, they still only need one more game to claim the series. Shopify, they are on the road to the ace match. They still need a couple more games though. Un poquito más. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. Leading the series 4-2, it is Rogue. One more game is all he needs for his team, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the German Zerg player, we have the Red Zerg for Shopify. It is Lambo. Here we go. As we have that back and forth, both Lambo and Rogue are going hatch first. Slight variation in build, as we did have a Lambo going for the 15. Did go for that extractor trick. Otherwise, we are settling in. And again, welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a massive map, a very large map, long rush distance by ground, a 3-player spawn map as well. You can see that Rogue will be the first to scout Lambo, and Lambo will be able to, they will be able to scout each other, I should say. Once the overlords move in, they will confirm. So far, everything's looking normal. We did have Rogue be hyper-aggressive previously against Scarlett, but that is not happening here. We're just calming down, droning up. From here, we should be working towards our Bailey Nest into a third base. We'll keep an eye on any kind of deviation to see if anyone goes for a Link Flood, if anyone skips that Bailey Nest, or if anyone plays 2 base instead. But we're expecting kind of 3 base play. We're expecting standard aggression or standard mid-game here between Lambo and Rogue. I think speed is in production. Getting into link speed. Third base is being taken here from Lambo. Clem is third. So does Rogue. Bailey nests are on the way. And from here, we'll see if we just back off, drone up, and get into Roach play, or if anyone does decide to be more aggressive with Link Bait. And we're droning, okay? We're droning, we're saturating, we have a much more passive ZVZ here between Rogue and Lambo. Much more passive. I mean, the size of the map, I'm sure, does influence that as well. I'm sure it does influence. There's the Roach Warren, and we should be seeing one from Lambo alongside this. Just getting into Roach play. We'll keep an eye on Evo Chambers, we'll keep an eye on their timings. Speaking of, that's going to be an Evo Chamber before Roach Warren. Gas on the way. You have my attention. Another gas is being taken. We should be seeing a lair soon. Okay, there's Roach one. I was like, are we going to Muta play? That's still in the back of my mind. Does snipe one of the banelings. Also in range for Lambo. Does prioritize his upgrades. We are still just running up. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Lambo, he looks like he's going for an all-in. Yeah, he's going for a +1 all-in. What are you seeing here? It's what you're not seeing. No lair. Yeah, there's no lair in sight. Lambo, he does not take up. Lambo's going for a massive 3-base all-in off a 3-base saturation, and it's going to hit with +1 melee with a bunch of slow roaches. Meanwhile, Rogue is going for the Spire. Oof, he's going for a Spire. He's going for a +1 melee. Rogue, he did open Roach, but he's cutting corners, and he's going to try to go Ling Muta, and I believe this should be a build order win for Lambo. Like, I believe Lambo, he should just win this game. He should just walk across the map and just roll over his opponent. It's going to be a very difficult defense here for Rogue, just because he's investing into gases, into a Spire, into +1 melee, all these things that just will not help in the defense. Now I realize how much danger he's in. He's rolling down a wall of spine crawlers. Lambo is going for the kill. He's going for the kill. Going for the throat. And Lambo, he's here to end the game. The Lings, they go for a counterattack. Their hope here is to force Lambo back home, but there's no turning around. Like, no shot. Oh, Lambo, he doesn't go for the natural. Uh-oh. Goes for the third base instead. This is giving Rogue a lot of time. The spine crawlers are finishing because of this. Mutas are on the way. Hatchery goes down. And Lambo, we gotta go for it. Go for the kill. Mutas have arrived. And Lambo, he should still have enough anyway. Yeah, he should still have enough. Sure, we have, what, like 5 spine crawlers. Lingbane rolls in. Breaks through the spines. Breaks into the mineral line. And Lambo, he should still have enough. And again, as we mentioned, this was a build order win. Lambo was blindly going into just a hatch base, a hatch tech all in, and Rogue was blindly himself going into Mutas. Was rushing into Mutas. Oh, actually, with Ling reinforcements, Rogue is holding on. He cleans this up. He will lose some drones, but as we mentioned, Lambo, he did spend a lot of time on the third base. Okay. Rogue, he survives. He has map control. Can Rogue recover? He shouldn't be able to, but I mean, he's sniping a bunch of Overlords. Lambo behind this is throwing down spores. He's trying to take up. Remember, he has no lair. No lair, no Hydras, no anti, no shock. Uh-oh. There's limited anti-air here. There's only 3 queens. Overlord's getting sniped. Lambo, he races across the map. Spore goes down. The third base is no shot. Rogue, he takes down the mineral line, takes down all the drones. At the same time, Lambo is trying to break into the main base. Banelings are on the way. Muse, we need them back home, actually. Uh-oh. Lambo, can he get in? Can he get in? Oh my god. Yeah, there's just so much thing Bane here. Lambo, he busts into the natural. Massive connections. Takes down the mineral line. These Muses are wasting the time. They're wasting the time here at the base. Even catching reinforcements would have been more useful here. I say that. I mean, he's committing to the base trade. He's committing. As Rogue, he will eventually defend back at home. I say that we're still rallying more and more Lings across the map. Mutas, they break into the main. More Lings flooding. I'm still not too fond of how these Mutas were used. Like, this didn't have to be this close. Going for the lair. Small drones are pulling in the main. Brutal damage. Things, they just keep flooding in. Let's get the queen. Rogue down to 19 drones. I believe the bit is done. Yeah, the infestation bit is done. He has access to infestors. Mutas, they finally turn around. They finally turn back around. Catching reinforcements. Now, as it settles, where are we? So Rogue, he's on 3 bases. He's on 3 bases. He's down in workers, but he has mass muta. Like, he has an army. An army that Lambert cannot deal with. So yeah, Lambert, he has no answer. Mutas can just go back into the main. And even though this was a shaky kind of response from Rogue, like, it's good enough. Like, hey, he killed the 3rd base, he killed the main base, he crippled the economy. That's a kill, not a cancel. And again, I'm still thinking of a world where Lambert doesn't waste his time at the 3rd base, where if he pushes straight into the natural, he could have just ended the game. But did go for the safer approach, which is true, right? It is safer to get a secure damage. GG gets called. Rogue, he does it. He overwhelms, and Rogue, he will win the series for Team Falcons. GG. GG, well played. Very, very fortunate play there for Rogue. Again, Lambert looked like he was hard countering. He was going for a hatch tech all-in to kill Rogue, to punish him for going into mutas. But as we pointed out, Lambert, he did see the attempted wall-off. He saw the spine crawlers in production at the natural, and he chose not to go for the natural, to go for the 3rd. And that gave Rogue time to finish up the spine crawlers and to make mutas. Like, it brought a lot of precious seconds that otherwise wouldn't have been there if Lambert had gone straight for the kill, straight for the natural instead. So Lambo, he was a little bit tentative. He did go for the safer response, which was just slowly killing bases, the fringe bases first, before going into the natural, which meant that mutas popped out, and eventually Rogue held. He held, he defended, he survived, and was able to counterattack. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations to Team Falcons, as they will eliminate Shopify from the tournament. GG. Yeah. GG, well played. Congratulations, Team Falcons. They claim the win. Shopify, they do go down. They were able to at least pose a threat. They were able to win some games. Bjorn took down Bunny, and Harambo were able to take down Bunny and Rogue as well. So there were some points that were taken, but overall, in the end, Team Falcons, they did come out on top. They did win the series. GG. GG, well played. Again, we almost had the comeback. Oh, and again, I can see a world where Lambo wins that game, to be honest. Like, we could see it. He was so close. He was so close to killing Rogue, to shutting him down for his greed, of punishing him before he got into his mutas, but GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations here to Team Falcons. They do claim the win in the end, and with that, Shopify, they're out of the tournament. Team Falcons, they move on in the lower bracket, and they're going to be facing off against the loser of the next series. Oh boy. Here we go. So close. So close. Might be so close. But with that, GG, well played. Could have, should have. Oh, well, I mean, as we mentioned, like, it came down to just his approach. As we mentioned, like, it is a safer thing to do to kill the third, to focus on the 3rd base instead, because it's secure damage. It's like, the mindset there is like, okay, well, if I don't kill him, at least he doesn't have a 3rd. Whereas the killer instinct is to go for the natural, right? Like, so it's just like a different mindset, a different like kind of like approach to the game. One is safer, one is more risky. But with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. With that, we are now getting into our next matchup here, as we are halfway through the broadcast. This is the upper match, the winner's match. These two so far have been looking dominant in this tournament. We have Basilisk versus Team Liquid coming up next after the break. So we're going to be going on a break here. We're going to be stepping off, take the time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. When we come back, Basilisk versus Team Liquid is right around the corner. Now, Now, again, because this is an upper bracket match, the winner of this series does advance on to the grand finals. The loser of this series plays against Team Falcons. Again, Team Falcons, they took down Shopify. That means they're waiting for the loser of this series. They still have a chance. For now, though, I'm going to be going on a break. We'll see you soon after the break. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second series of the broadcast. Welcome to the upper brackets of the CranKy Season 2 Playoffs Day number 2. We just wrapped up with the lower bracket match, and Shopify have been eliminated from the tournaments, and now we have Team Falcons waiting for the winner of this series. Here we go. We're jumping into another fresh best of 9. Let us switch our teams over and catch up on the bracket itself. Again, for those who are curious, this was a 6-team invitational, and we are nearing the end of the tournament itself. 5 or 6 days, I believe. I think it's like 6 days of non-stop StarCraft action has been upon us. And we're here to determine who will make it to the grand finals. Which of these two players will advance on into those grand finals? Will it be Basilisk? Will it be Team Liquid? So far, they've both proven their mettle, proven to be the best teams in the league so far. And we'll see who comes out on top. Let's go. We do have our lineups. We have Trigger. Trigger's up against Mana on Old Republic. So we have a PvP to kick things off. We have Serral versus Cure in a ZVT over on 10,000 feet. A very aggressive map. Curious to see how that plays out. We have Serral and Trigger versus Mana and Clem on Gem Garden in the 2v2. And we have Rainer versus Clem on Andromeda. Oh god, that's gonna be a spicy ZVT. In general, I'm looking forward to those ZVTs. Likewise, I'm curious to see how Mana and Clem fare as a duo. As I mentioned before, Clem is one of the best players in 2v2 in the world. 100% he is. But who is Clem's typical teammate in 2v2? It's Trigger. No. So the two friends, they have to face off. They're on opposite sides of the 2v2 teams here, as Trigger is going up against Clem instead of playing with Clem. So Clem has to play against his typical 2v2 teammates. Likewise, Serral's also very well versed in 2v2, Mana less so. So that's going to be a bit of a tricky matchup for Team Liquid, I feel. But we'll see. First things first, we're jumping into our initial matchup into Mana versus Trigger. Let's go. Game 1 is on the Old Republic. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here of the Old Republic, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Representing Team Liquid, it is Mana. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. Here we go. We have our initial best of 1, and welcome to the Old Republic, a very large map in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. Because it's so large, I would say there are a lot of proxy locations, so you can be cheeky, you can set up for some proxies. But in the best of 1, I don't know if any of these players has the capacity to go for something like that, to risk it all on some cheese on a proxy, because if we don't, we may just end up in a longer, standard, more passive macro PvP. Oh. As we are setting up. 2-gate opener out of Mana, 2-gate opener out of Trigger. So standard openers all around, and no one is going for an earlier Nexus, no one is going for a greedier start. Everyone is playing standard. Hello, Mana. As Mana does scout for a proxy. Checks on the right-hand side. Oh, and he can hide his own pylon. Okay. So it does go for hidden pylon, does go for a fake out, but fun fact, Trigger didn't even probe scout. It might be because of how large the map is, but no probe scout out of Trigger. Likewise, Mana doesn't probe scout either. He is trying to fake out a proxy, but I mean, there's nothing to scout, nothing to kind of give Trigger that kind of read. So overall, Trigger is slightly ahead. Slightly ahead here. The reasoning for that is because as opposed to Mana has one worker that isn't mining. That one worker for Trigger is mining. That's why Trigger has a slight economic edge. Oh, going for a Robo before expand. Very safe play out of Trigger. And this makes sense. Because Trigger is playing blind, he's playing very safe to compensate. Going for his Robo. So does Mana. Okay, mirrored builds. I mean, Mana's road is a little bit later, but overall the same kind of road we're traveling down. Same trajectory. As Mana cancels, never mind. Mana feels safe. Not, I mean, he did just scout, did just confirm the opener. Mana goes for a Stargate, but it was a delayed Stargate as a result, as in to cancel the Robo. So a bit of an awkward start here for Mana. Probes, they get in. 3 probe kills go down from the Adept. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal damage. Trigger looking good so far. Now, Trigger, he got into the main base. He did scout. He was able to scout and confirm the Stargate. Is aware. Assuming he saw when that was a Stargate, not he saw when that was a Robo. True. Stalkers, they poke in. Trigger going for the early Prism. He's moving out. This shield battery placement tells me that I think Trigger did see this one was a Robo, not a Stargate. Uh-oh. So the Oracle has a lot of potential. Oracle will soon be moving out. It's the overcharge. Oh, never mind. Setting up defensively. Okay. Thankfully for Trigger, I mean, this will help. Oracle does make its way towards the main. Trigger, he has some soldiers in position. He's ready. Does earn. Does earn away. Throwing down his own Twilight Council. Getting ready for his own blink. And again, Trigger has had a slightly better start thanks to his economic damage. Oh, has to be careful. Pulls away. Does pull away in time. Might even find the pylon. Oh, barely not. And we'll see where our players take us. Mana, he's only on 3 gateways, and from here he expands, so 3-gate blink into a 3rd base. Meanwhile, Trigger, I believe, doing something quite similar. Yeah, also going 3-gate blink. Trigger also expanding. We're building up into the mid game. Mana is applying some pressure. Mana, he does have the earlier blink timing. True. Blink is almost done. And we'll see what kind of damage Mana can find. Mana, he has to avoid the fight. I mean, we have the immortal advantage for Trigger, so Trigger, he has a greater army, he blinks in, takes down the Oracle. Ay, ay, ay. And Mana's in a bit of danger here. He does have some weapons available back at home. The shield battery is halfway done. Trigger has made his way across the map. Again, he has the greater army, he's had the better economy, the slightly better economy in the lead up to this. And he's hitting his stride. Rotates in between. Mana out of position. Oh, it does it the Immortal at least. Does try to. Immortal is saved, nice control. Pulls back both Immortals. Force feels they work against Mana. Mana gets choked up. Does he have enough there? Takes out one Immortal. Not bad. Yeah, miscontrol at a trigger. He'll lose one immortal. Prism is going to go down as well. But he still has too much. Yeah, Trigger, he has far too many Stalkers here. He's going to overwhelm. And for Basilisk, a Trigger, he will start things off with a win. Yeah, blinks in, and GG gets called, and Trigger, he puts a point on the board for Basilisk. GG. GG, well played. Again, very solid play out of Trigger, nothing too fancy. Trigger, he took an economic lead early on. He was able to kill, what was it, 3-4 probes at the start of the game. Likewise, the Stargate opener was lackluster, but it was also delayed. Remember, Mana, he went for a Robo, then when it was halfway done, he cancelled the Robo, started the Stargate, then went for the Oracles, but he didn't find any damage across the map. So the Stargate opener didn't really achieve anything. It set him behind because it was a big investment. Behind it, he was trying to get into his own third base, but we saw that Trigger had a bigger, earlier power spike because of his Robo, because of his Immortals. GG. GG, well played, just committed across the map, and with that, Trigger takes the lead for Basilisk, and we'll see if Team Liquid can recover. We'll see if we can recover. This is going to be a brutal one here. Up next, we have Serral versus Cure. Now, we have seen Cure take maps and bring Serral down before. It's happened before, but Cure has to be on his A game. Like, it's going to be on his A game. I mean, it's the best of one. This can still go either way. Serral is favored here, but Cure, he's done it before. We'll see if he can do it again. We'll see if we can bring down Serral as we're getting into our next game. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Team Liquid. Oh, Team Liquid, it is Cure. So just frantically pressing buttons. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Serral. Here we go. Now, welcome one all to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smaller maps in the map pool, one of the more aggressive maps as well. Aggression is heavily favored here, and we're expecting to see aggression out of Cure. What kind of aggression, though, we'll see. For now, we're going to some standard openers. There's no crazy 2x Reaper set up on the low ground. We'll see where Cure takes us. Likewise, we'll see how Serral opens up as well. Now, for a very long time, for all of this year, most of last year as well, because of the nerfs, because of the changes to the Baneling, Serral, he did kind of pioneer this more roach-heavy play and roach-heavy style of ZVT, which has been permeating throughout the meta for quite some time now. But I will say that in the latest patch, we of course had the change in the buff to the Baneling, which means that Ling Bane play theoretically should be more viable, and that means that suddenly Ling Bane is unlocked for players like Serral. So we'll see if Serral does decide to go into Ling Bane, or if he does what he does best and play Roach instead. But I'd be very excited to see if Serral does embrace that Ling Bane, and that does open up the possibility for potentially even Mew to play in the mid game. I'm not too fond of mutas on a smaller map like 10,000 feet, but it's an option if we head in that direction. Now Kira does move out across the map. And will we see mech from Cure? I mean, Cure did play mech in the previous patch with the previous version of Cyclone, true. Like, there was a lot of, I mean, almost everyone played mech against, even Beyond was playing mech against Zerg, true. I don't think there's any Terran player that didn't play mech, actually. Clem, Beyond, Cure, Maru, I think they all dabbled in mech at some point in the previous patch. Nowadays, mech is still viable, but obviously not battle mech, right? It's like going into a more traditional form of mech. I do like the idea of going mech on some of these smaller maps, so 10,000 feet, you do have the option for it. I just don't know if Cure is comfortable enough on this map to play mech. Like, mech is very map dependent. It's very map dependent. Against Protoss and against Zerg. As we have Cure going for his third CC. Could I see mech working here? I mean, because of the high ground, because of this plane of elevation, I can see a player getting up to 4 bases with mech, maxing out, and then pushing on 10,000 feet. I think so. But maybe further down the line if this becomes a part of the regular map pool. I don't know if Kira is comfortable enough for that yet, but we'll see. Behind this, going for a 3rd TC into Starport, so economic opener. Going for a very standard start. So here comes the add-on swap into Banshees. Going to fast double eBays into fast upgrades. This is looking like the beginning of an 8 racks here. We'll see. But again, really fast double eBay, really fast 1-1. This is indicative of a really strong of a very strong +2 timing, 2-2 timing even, which may line up with an 8 racks. It's in the back of my mind. And I do like the idea of going for an 8 racks on 10,000 feet. I do think it'd be quite good. Quite solid. But we'll see how we get there. For now, it is going to be a Lair first out of Serral. So Lair first out of our Zerg player. By Greedy. Doesn't feel the need to play safe. Did scout across the map, did get eyes on the starport. Serral, he is getting into Ling Vein. At least this should be for plus on Carapace. There we go. Carapace is on the way. Oh, true. I almost... Okay, thank God. I was going to say I almost forgot. That Serral, he was playing around a lot with Ling into Ultra. We saw a lot of that from Raynor, and we saw Serral go for that style quite heavily on Masters of the Game. In the French offline tournament against Clem, we saw a lot of that. Just going Ling and Fester Ultra. But we're not seeing that here. We have Ling Bane. So second Evo Chamber, Baneliness as well. Banshee pokes in, gets 3 drone kills. Overseer Scout is going to be deflected. And that is our 4th and 5th ranks on the way. Cure is getting a gas geyser. So typically, if this were to be a 3-base all-in, you typically don't get a gas geyser here. You go up to 8 raxes off of only 4 gases. So the gas being taken, it leans a little bit more towards something more tech-heavy. It leads towards a 2nd factory. And towards a 4th CC. We'll see if it leads in that direction. Wait, what? For a moment there, Nia still frames to begin. So we have 2-2 on the way. We have 3 more raxes. So here comes the 8 racks. Okay. So we are 8 raxing. Did take an extra gas geyser here. To be able to facilitate for those earlier upgrades. Okay. It's all coming together. So yeah, the fast double eBays was a tell.
Our forces are under attack.
And this is going to hit very hard. And we'll see if Cure can break Serral. Now, ideally, when it comes to successful 8 racks, you're able to deal some damage early on with your Hellion Banshee. You're able to slow down the Zerg player, maintain map control, deny creep, and set yourself up for the end game, for the 8 racks push to kill Serral. We haven't seen too much of that yet, but Cure is now moving out. He's now being active with his drops. And again, it's on Cure to set the stage. To set up for his all-in. Kills a Marine. A nice trade saver from Cure. Picks off more Lings. Doing anything major there. Didn't add a couple of Marines. Hive is done. We have a couple of Vipers on the way that will help here against the 8 racks. Shelly's getting there. He's on 78 workers. He has some decent creep spread. It's going to be difficult to pull this off, but here we go. It's all or nothing for Cure. 2-2 is almost complete. And this is it. This is the 8 racks. Here we go. 3 base all in out of Cure. This is meant to end the game. This is meant to kill. Cure, he was at least able to get some drone damage, but I don't think that was enough here. As Cure is pushing. Clearing up creep. At the same time, Serral does counterattack. Was being pulled away. The mains have arrived. Oh no! The massive connections. Takes down the SCVs, takes down the Lion. And again, Curie was already all in, but now he can't reinforce. That's the dangerous thing about this run by is that Curie can no longer reinforce. What you see is what you get. He has bled out 31 SCVs. And here come those Vipers. And here come the Blinding Clouds. And so he will completely shut this down. And as we mentioned, ideally when you want an A-ranks like this, you need to set up ahead of time to find some damage, kill the 4th base, get some economic damage. But Curie failed to do so. Yeah, so he just completely shut this down. And with that, Curie's just running out of steam. He's running out of steam, running out of army. There's not much left. Down to 3 tanks. Down to 32 SCVs. Again, barely a 2-base economy. And with that, Serral, he will just completely shut this down. Again, very clinical play here by Serral. Very clinical. He was able to drone up to 78, able to have plenty of creep, and got into Hive Tech, got into the Vipers, and GG gets called. Serral, he will extend the lead for Basilisk 2-0. GG. Whew, GG, well played. And again, a very comfortable game there for Serral. As I mentioned, for Cure, ideally when it comes to these A-ranks, you do need to get some damage early on to just snowball out of control from there. When it comes to applying pressure, getting economic damage, killing the 4th base, at least denying creep. But as we saw, he only got 3 drones. He got 3 drones with the Banshee. That's really all he got. And as a result, Serral was able to freely drone up to 78, freely drone up, tech up, and be more than ready for the all-in. GG. GG, well played. So again, a very comfortable game there from Serral, and that leads us into the 2v2. Oh boy, the pressure is on Team Liquid, as they're up against one of the stronger teams out there when it comes to 2v2, if not the strongest team in this team league specifically, Serral and Trigger. Oh boy, Serral and Trigger, they're going to be going up against Clem and Mana in that 2v2 format. Let's go. Let us go. Now again, for those that maybe don't watch a lot of 2v2 tournaments, a lot of these players do compete quite heavily in 2v2. So Clem, for example. Clem, he is one of the best 2v2 players in the world, 100%. But fun fact, who is Clem's teammate? Trigger. Trigger is typically Clem's teammate, and together, like, they work really well, and they are, again, they achieve a lot of accolades. They are often top 2 alongside Max Pax and Spirit. But of course, here in this tournament, there is no Max Pax, there is no Spirit, and here in this tournament, Clem and Trigger, they're separated. They're separated as they are on separate teams. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Here, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Gem Garden, we have the French Terran player in Clem. We have the Polish Protoss and Mana. We have Team Liquid. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the Finnish Zerg player in Serral. We have the Canadian Protoss and Trigger. We have Basilisk. Here we go. So again, Clem and Trigger, they are some of the best 2v2 players in the world. Likewise, Serral is also up there as well. Who is Serral's typical teammate? Zhuge Liang is another Finnish Zerg player, and Serral does often play with Zhuge Liang. Serral even off races as Protoss, and he's pretty good. Like, they are pretty good players themselves as a duo. They've also achieved a lot. They've also been able to have some solid results in 2v2. So what I'm getting at is that Trigger and Serral, even though they don't play a lot together, they are very experienced in 2v2. Mana, less so. As we are opening up 2-rank... Okay, let's go. 2-rank Reaper, let's go! 2-rank Reaper out of Clem. Mana going for a 2-gate opener. So hyper aggression out of Clem and Mana. Let's go. We're going for an early rush. We're going for an early rush. Looking to try to break through early on and ideally punish some greedy play. 2 gate opener out of Trigger. Trigger's playing it safe. Does open up 2 gates, and likewise hatch gas pool out of Serral. So the pressure's on. We'll see if Clem and Mana can pop up. Here we go. As Reapers are rallying, Adepts as well. If you remember, this is the same build that Clem and Mana went for that punished Bunny and Rogue for being too greedy, if you recall. Kills it was Bunny defending by himself. Which I believe he did actually defend, by the way. It was crazy. It was crazy. There we go. Reaper into the bases. Gonna be zoned away. We have more Adepts, we have more Reapers rallying across the map. Looking for economic damage. Lings are buying some time. Oh no, misround! No, he gets surrounded! A miscontrol out of Clem. He runs into the RE, runs into the boys. Yeah, a bit of a citizen's arrest. Serral shuts Clem down. Ay, ay, ay. The second Reaper falls. It's falling apart. It's falling apart already here. Not like this. Not like this, Pappy. Ay, ay, ay. Adepts are here to make up for it. They get 1 drone kill so far. They get 2. 2, 3 drones going down. Not bad. Mana does get some decent damage. As Mana's building up his Adepts up to 4 now. At this point, Clem is out of this. As in, he's out of this aggression. He's down to 1 Reaper. Back at home, Clem, he's macroing. He's transitioning. Clem is building up into his own stim timing. Meanwhile, Mana slowed up. Mana gets caught out. He gets surrounded. And Mana, he will lose every single Adept here. Ay, ay, ay. Team Liquid, they've lost map control. Serral and Trigger, they move out across the map. Chasing down the reigning Reapers. And when behind, Dark Shrine. Okay. Mana is going for the DTs. Going for the Dark Shrine. Let's go. Clem barely does get away. Clem does pull away. We have the Dark Shrine in production. And behind this, Serral, he is on hatch tech, so there's no Overseer. Proxy gateway across the map for those DTs. Okay. And Dark Templar, can they end the game? In a 2v2, there's no detection here. There's no Robo. There is a forge for cannons, I guess. But, I mean, there shouldn't be any cannons being made for Trigger. Spores are non-existent. Okay, there's 1 spore in the main, but these Dark Templar, they can do critical damage. Oh boy. Mana, can he pop off? Can he do it? Este Mana. Oh, nice round. Nice round on the Reapers. Dark Templar then morphing in, and again, I don't see much detection here. There's nothing at the 3rd base, nothing in the actual. There's no lair. There's no Overseer. That's just a dead base. Potentially a dead mineral line. Oof. Yeah, spores are being thrown down. This expansion will fall. Massive pickup. Again, 2 players, 0 detection. No, spores denied. Protect the spore, pappy. Spore will finish. Adepts, they do shade in. You can see the players, both players just scramble for a defense. Takes down one of the Dark Templar. 3rd base did fall. Ooh, even a Queen did overextend as well. So very nice damage here by Mana. Team Liquid is still in this. Oh, nice punish. This blink is still not yet done. Oh, just now finishing. With that trigger, he does kite back. Dark Templar do punish. Serral does catch reinforcements. Nice movement. Catching up 4 or 5 Marines. Trying to collapse on the army. Overall better trades here for Team Basilisk. Trigger and Serral. Picking up more Marines. Marines going down, forcing out a stim. Proxy gets found. But did Trigger notice the drop? There is a double drop moving out. There's not much at home to defend. Trigger trying to force his way in, but the tank has arrived. Oof. Yeah, massive tank shots. And the drop gets in. Drop gets into the main. There's a recall. Recall's just in time. The drop doesn't get much damage. Kills 2 pylons at the same time. Oh, Serral, he denies the third base of mana. Nice run by. Yeah, Serral's like, take that. It's like, you kill my third, I kill yours, Pat. True. Oh. As once again, Trigger is trading well against the Marines. Oh, Trigger gets baited. Ay, 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 gets baited in. Trigger who loses almost every single Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, big blunder there from Trigger. Likewise, bleeding out more Stalkers in the center of the map as well. Mana still trading. Serral is here to reinforce. Yeah, nice support here by Serral. Does force a pickup. Mana coming to save, but the tank still does go down. Yeah, brutal loss there on the tank. So they're still so active with those Zerglings, just never allowing an expansion. Mana just wants to expand, Pappy. He just wants a third base. Yo, Microbial Shroud is on the way for Serral. Let's go. Oh. Trigger getting caught out. Losing 1, losing 2 Stalkers. Mana coming in to punish. Mana does come in. Trigger is getting cornered. No! Yeah, he's cornered. Force to fight, force to engage. Serral is catching reinforcements, and this should be a better trade for Clem. Yeah, Clem catching the majority of these Stalkers. I say that, here come the reinforcements. Reinforcements come in. This is still a big low server for Clem. Trading at units he can't quite afford. As Mana still can't expand. He wants a third. That's all he wants. He just cannot expand. Este Mana. Yeah, and Basilisk are going for the kill. They're going for the kill at this point. They bust in. They break through. They dive on top of the Liberator. Get on top of the fire. There's again mass medevac, so they can't really do much here. There's nothing to support. GG gets called, and Serral and Trigger, they snowball out of control. They take the win, they take the game, and they put another point on the board. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very intense back and forth here. We did see that, alas, Mana and Clem, they were hyper aggressive early on, but that kind of fell on its face. I'll say that Trigger and Serral had a stronger start. We did have a really nice moment from Mana with his DTs. Like, his Dark Templar did kill an expansion, they did kill a Queen and some drones as well. Still some nice damage with the Dark Templar, but as you saw after that, Serral and Trigger, they were hyper aggressive, they gained momentum, they gained map control, and both Clem and Mana had a really hard time expanding, because they were just bleeding out so much, bleeding out so many Stalkers, so many Marines as well. They were just trading a little bit too poorly. They didn't have the economy to sustain those losses, and GG. GG, well played. Again, some really nice run bys and counterattacks from both Trigger and Serral. GG, well played. And with that, we up 3-0. 3-0 here in favor of Basilisk. Oh boy, a very, very strong showing and strong start so far from Basilisk, but now we have the opportunity for Team Liquid to recover. Here we go. Here we go. We have the ace player for Team Liquid stepping up. It is going to be Raynor versus Clem on Andromeda. Let's go. Clem, of course, is the ace player. He is the best Terran player in the world. And it's going to be on him. It's going to be on Clem's shoulders here to make that comeback of reality. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Andromeda, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the Italian Zerg player himself, the red Zerg for Basilisk. It is Raynor. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. And the pressure is on Team Liquid. They have been struggling so far in this series. They have been struggling. The pressure is on. But if anyone is going to bring them back from the brink, it's going to be Clem. Right? It's going to be Clem. The problem, though, is that he's up against Raynor of all players. Raynor is a terrifying opponent. Raynor, he, of course, is one of the best Zerg players in the world. He's top two alongside Serral, of course. And Raynor is the caliber of player that can bring Clem down. They can threaten him, they can take maps and take series. You could even make an argument that Raynor has a better record against Clem than Serral does. At least that was the case last year. Oh, going gasless. Okay. Now, if you recall, I did mention something during the previous series with Serral against Cure, about how Raynor, there's a style that he was very fond of coming into EWC and post-EWC, coming into Masters of the game as well, which is going for this Ling Infestor into Ultra style, skipping Banelings and skipping Hydras. Now, that was the case pre-patch. Now that we're post-patch, are we willing to play that style more again, or are we willing to play into Ling Bane? We'll see. For now, gasless. So delayed gas opener by Raynor. This is very greedy. This is typically indicative here of roach play, typically, but Raynor, he's the kind of player that isn't really fond of roaches, so we'll see. But so far, this does scream roaches. As the goal is to defend with a bare minimum, the goal is to defend with delayed link speed. So link speed is going to be delayed. Clem comes in with the SCV Scout. Reaper's on the way as well. As Clem does threaten. Checks, of course, he confirms that there is no third. Again, with a gasless opener, you're staying on two bases that much longer. Raynor, he mines 100 gas. He pulls out. He is getting into link speed. That is important to take note of. Typically, this does mean that you're skipping link speed and going roaches. But because link speed is being researched here, my eyes are on Raynor. Have my attention. As Raynor, he would go for the delayed third. Does expand. Clem is going for a 3cc 2-1-1. Okay, this is going to be a very early stim timing. So Clem is going into stim. This is later than a 2-1-1, of course. But this does hit around 5:30. So there's going to be a 5:30 stim timing with Medivacs, with Marines. The downside, of course, is he's going to be cutting Hellion production. Meanwhile, did you see that? There it is, roaches. As we mentioned before, typically opening up gasless does mean roach play, but we'll see if this is just for show. As we are banking Lings. And remember, Link speed, I believe, was not confirmed. I believe the Reaper yet did not get into the main. Uh-oh. So Raynor is banking up those Lings. His opener made it look like he was playing roaches and revealed the roach one as well, but this Ling flood here should be undetected. And ideally gets into the mineral line. Let's go. Here you can see Raynor, he does skirt around the edge of the map. He does hide his Lings. His goal here is to get into this mineral line, to pick off those SCVs, to avoid the Hellions. And so far, unscattered. Until now. Hellions, they bust in. Yeah, they bust into the mineral line. He goes for the dive. At the same time, Lings, they also bust into the main. Yeah, they catch reinforcements. Drones are going to be going down. Oh, 7 drone kills so far. We need to kill some SCVs. Rainer defends. Rainer, he does defend. He will lose 7 drones. At the same time, SCVs are falling. Lings, they avoid this around. And that's going to be 10 SCV kills. We have a bit of a back and forth here. Rainer, he was hoping for a little bit more. He does respect the mineral line until he has more reinforcements. Yeah, now he gets in. Yeah, he does go for the dive. Nice around here. And Rainer, he might have enough. Yeah, he does. He does have enough. Takes down the Marines, takes down the SCVs, and this is becoming critical damage. Oof, as he will kill every worker here on the low ground. Despite the SCV drilling here, which is impressive. He should still not save the workers. Yeah, as down goes everything. So again, it was a cheeky build, a very cheeky build. If you recall, it was a gasless opener to begin with, which means typically you want to be skipping Ling speed, and Clem believed that as well, which is why Rainer was doing the best he could to hide the Lings, to hide the fact that he had Ling speed, and he was able to catch Clem with his pants down. And now Clem has been crippled. Clem, he has been crippled. And the Roach Warren was just for show. It was just, oh, never mind. We have range on the way, so it looks like we will be investing into Ling Roach Ravager. Looks like the goal here should be for Rainer to get up to 3 base saturation, get a 4th base just for Larva, and then just go for an all-in. Just send it across the map with Ling Roach Ravager. Clem is in a very rough position. Clem is behind. Dropping into the main. Now from here, Clem is just going to try to macro up. I was going to say, if you remember, Bunny was in a similar position. He was in a very similar position, and we spoke about how the one chance that Bunny has is if Lambert was too greedy and if Bunny went for a 2-base all-in, and it all transpired, and Bunny won. Here it's very similar, but as you can see here, Clem is expanding. Clem is going for a double E-base. Clem, it looks like he wants to go into double upgrades and get into a macro game. But he doesn't really have what it takes to get into a macro game from here. Yeah, he's making workers back at home. He starts up the upgrades. And Rainer should be able to break Clem before these upgrades really kick in. As Rainer is getting workers at 66. So again, we're at 3 base saturation. The 4th base should just be for Larva. Rainer should not need to drone up. He's catching reinforcements, building up those roaches, and getting ready for his push. And this should just be the kill move here from Rainer. He's moving out. Roach speed is still a little bit of a ways away. Here come the Ravagers. Ravagers is still not quite done. Nice start of the fight here for Clem. But the Ravagers are not complete, so now we can get on top of those tanks. Lings, they break through the reinforcements, they get into the mineral line. And again, it was just really ambitious for Clem to try to macro out of this instead after all that damage. I mean, not saying that Nolan would have worked. No, I mean, it's still just a really rough position for him regardless. And here we go, we come with us around. Files, they connect, they shut down the tanks, and Rainer, he should just keep pushing. He's almost maxed. GG gets called, and Rainer, he will claim the win. He will extend the lead even further, 4-0 for Basilisk. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. With that, Rainer, he does take the game, and Basilisk, they're up 4-0. Remember, it is first to 5 to win the best of 9. Let's catch up on the overall lineup here. So a very, very strong start for Basilisk, purely in favor of Basilisk. Trigger, Serral, and Rainer looking very strong, looking very dominant so far in the series. But remember, now is the refresh, right? The way this format works in a best of 9 is you have your initial 4 matches, and then the team captains do have some time to gather their thoughts and to get ready the next set of lineups, as we have a refresh, as now we can send out the players once again, and we can resend out all those players. Whew, so here we go. I believe Mana is the team captain for Team Liquid, and I believe Roddy is the team captain for Basilisk. So it is on Roddy and Mana to get ready with the next set of lineups and to field their players. The next game is going to be on Dream and Scars, followed by the 2v2 on Gem Garden, Mothership, Ruby Rock, and Tourmaline for the ace match. Basilisk, they need one game. They need one game here, one game to win the series. Team Liquid, they have to win every game moving forward to pull off the reverse sweep. Oh boy. Now, Dream and Scars, we've seen a lot of TBT on this map. We expect a Terran player on Dream and Scars. Basilisk have no Terran, so this is a really good map for Team Liquid to recover with either Cure or Clem. I think I would want to send out Cure on Dream and Scars. We know that for Gem Garden, it's going to be Clem and Mana versus Serral and Trigger. Like, that's a given, of course, unless we decide to mix it up. No shot, no shot. Let's go. Here we go. Raynor playing very nicely. Raynor was very cheeky. So winding it back, remember, it was a lot of mind games. Remember, Raynor, he went for a delayed gas opener, which, if you remember, I even expected, oh, he's going to go gasless. He's going to skip link speed and go into roaches. But he faked going roaches. He faked skipping link speed. He got link speed and he hid those lings, and bam, he was able to catch Clem with his pants down and killed the mineral line. So it was a really cheeky start out of Raynor, which led him to have a lead to snowball out of control. So a very cheeky start, very cheeky build out of Raynor. But now we're getting into the second half, or the next set of matches here. Here we go. Bam, who do we have? Oh, let's go, the rematch. So I was expecting a Terran player. I was expecting Cure, to be honest, but no, it's going to be Clem on Dreams and Scars up against Raynor in the rematch immediately. Okay. So we have the rematch, and once again we have a Trigger and Serral and Gem Garden alongside Clem and Mana. We have Serral versus Cure, once again another rematch between these two, and Trigger and Mana on Ruby Rock, another rematch. We somehow, some way, the team captains Mana and Roddy, they like synced up, and they fielded the exact same players against the exact same players. So Serral versus Cure again, Trigger versus Mana again, Raynor versus Clem again. Let's wind it back. Let's go. As we are getting into another Raynor versus Clem game, this time on Dreams and Scars. Just setting up our casting tool. It's Cure and Serral. There's Trigger and Mana at the very end. Beautiful. Let's go. The Liquid players need revenge. True. Exactly. It's time for the redemption, baby. Time to redeem ourselves. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Dreams and Scars, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk, leading the series 4-0. One more game is all Basilisk needs to win the series and to advance on to the grand finals. It is Raynor. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player. The blue Terran, we have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. Also, quickly catching up with the chat. Does the team have an advantage of knowing who is being sent out first, or is it anyone's guess? The team captains, they send their lineups to the admin separately, so no one knows except for the admin, of course, and then the admin confirms, and then the lineups are revealed at the same time. So it's not like, you know, Team Liquid, they pick a player and then you get like a counter pick or anything like that. Like there's nothing like that. The lineups are kind of written down and they're kind of chosen, you know, anonymously, and then they're given to the admin, and then it's revealed at the same time. So no one has any advantage. The only thing you know ahead of time, of course, is the map, right? Like you know what map is the game's gonna be played on ahead of time, so you get to pick your player on which map, of course. as Raynor does open up a hatch pool, once again going for a delayed gas opener, just like last game. Now, last game, you saw that Raynor, he was able to hide his lings, make it look like he was skipping ling speed, and then caught Clem off guard with ling speed instead. This time, we're expecting a gasless opener, skipping ling speed into roaches. Like, we're expecting a roach heavy style this time, but we'll see. As Raynor does go for his own triangular third base, and again, this is a very, I was going to say very safe base. There is some high ground right next to it, actually. This is a ramp. This is a ramp coming down into the third, so this is quite greedy from Raynor. Hyper greed, gasless opener. Proper gasless this time. Now, Clem is renowned for punishing this. If you remember, especially in 2024, Serral would often go gasless like this, and Clem was the best player at punishing, going into massive Hellion dives, going for 1-1-1s as a response, delayed third CC, and hyper aggression, but Clem has to scout first. So Clem pokes in, he gets eyes on the natural, sees no lings, that's a tell. So no lings to defend. Is a sign of a greedier play. Clem, he checks the linear third with the SCV. And it's going to be on Clem to confirm the triangular third. Rotates over. Whoa, whoa, I know. Oh my god. I don't think that's intentional. As that is a massive cliff. Bearing in mind that this map is not so completely optimized, the map has yet to really hit the map pool, and I don't think that's intentional, but Jesus. Yo, them Reapers, they got jump spappy. Oh my god. I think Clem's just having fun with the cliff. I think. Yeah. As I don't believe this is, I'm pretty sure these jagged rocks are meant to deny Reapers from jumping up into town, but I think Clem's just having fun. He's like, man, this is crazy. Hey. So again, I don't think that's quite intentional there, but regardless. As again, there's a ramp right next to it. But Clem does confirm the faster third base, so he's fully aware behind this. He's going for a third CC before starport. Economic follow-up here by Clem. And you can see roach production out of Raynor. And remember, this was the build that Clem thought Raynor was going for last game. Was skipping ling speed and rushing into roaches, which is why the speedlings dealt so much damage last game, because they caught Clem off guard. This time, you know, we're a little bit more standard with how Raynor's opening up. Clem does get into the natural. Does get into the third, I should say. And we'll catch a queen. And nice speak of queen does fall. And remember, there's no way for Raynor to reinforce this army. Why is that? Because there is a mineral wall here to expand. You can see here this mineral pathway. Drones can work through that, but the main army cannot. So basically, Raynor is cut off from his own third. Hellions, they rotate over towards the natural. So far, Raynor, he is defending his natural quite well, but the third base is so isolated. But yes, these aren't ladder maps, so they aren't the most optimized maps yet. But yeah, they'll get there. They'll get there. As Raynor trying to knock down these rocks to open up his own way into his own third. But Jesus, we're free. Did you see the Reaper? It's freaking out. Clem does rotate back and forth. It's okay. It's all good, Fredder. It's all good. We got you. We got you. How dense are these? Is this debris? Jesus. We've been working on them for quite some time. As Raynor's trying to break through. Banshees, they do hit the third. So far, decent damage catching our full workers. That is not a full wall. Uh-oh. Hellions get another drone. Another worker goes down. And I believe Raynor's going for 3-base all-in. Raynor, he does have a high-yield gas geyser expansion here. Bear that in mind, so he has an excess of gas. He's building up his roaches. He's waiting for roach speed, and then it's going to be all or nothing for Raynor. The goal is to end the game. Back at home, what does Clem have to defend? Clem is building up his own biotank army. He's building up into, I believe, 5 Raxes. Getting his armory. Hasn't taken any gases yet. Going for a second factory. He's building up into a longer game. But this base is so open. It's such, I mean, you can even attack from the high ground as well. So it's a very exposed third. And Raynor, he will soon be pushing. Yeah, he's going for the all-in. This time with Dropper Lords, we're going for the German taxi. So it's going to be a Roach Ravager Queen all-in with Dropper Lords to support. The purpose of the Queens, the purpose of the Dropper Lords is to defend and to fight against the Banshees, to have some anti-air. Aliens are dealt with. And let's go. It is go time. It's all or nothing for Raynor. He's here to end the game. And Clem, he has to set up in time. What does he have? Okay, he has 2 tanks. They're really far back. Yeah, the tanks are very far back. He's getting a 4th TC. Raynor's moving in. Oh, army gets spotted. 1 Banshee goes down. 1 Banshee does fall. Bunkers are on the way. Now there's a 3rd tank. And can Raynor get on top of the tanks? Can he get on top? The boys are being pulled. Biles is thrown away. That's a lot of tank shots going up. The tanks, they get so much done on the roaches. The roaches are falling. And Clem is holding. Clem, he's holding on. Massive tank shots. Clem, he holds, he defends. The 3 tanks behind this, they do so much work. And Raynor, he's running out of steam. But he does get 17 SCVs. He gets 17 SCVs. He still does deal economic damage. The tanks are far behind. Getting a gas geyser, and Raynor, he's droning. Now he's droning up. Now he's saturating. The all-in has ended. See in the chat, Crank and Ryung were also freaking out about the Reapers. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure that was not intentional. Like the Reapers, that was crazy. As Rangers try to pick up some Marines. Behind us, Infestors are on the way. Late 4th base for Raynor. So as the game goes on, Clem is getting further ahead, even expanding behind this, getting his own 4th base. And Clem is snowballing out of control. He's getting out of hand. I mean, again, Raynor, he was all in. The all-in failed, and now Raider's in a rough position. Now, if Raynor can land a fungal, if he can lock down these Marines, then he can start to punish some of these bases and maybe deny the 4th. Maybe. But he needs the fungals to land. Marines that catch a queen. Oh, the Fuggles! No, the Fuggles, they catch him out! Massive connections! Biles, they shut down the Medivacs, and Clem is gonna lose everything, gonna lose everything! Ay, ay, ay! Not like this, Clem. Not like this. He gets caught out by the Fungals. Again, what we mentioned, like, this is what Raynor was hoping for. Raynor, he's back in this. He's back in this game. Those 30 Marines going down. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. He's back. We have bathing speed behind this as well, getting into Ling Bane eventually. And now Raynor, he can't start to threaten these bases. The tank count is very high though, but now Clem has no map presence. He's trying to be active. As Raynor, he's maxed. Keeping up with the drops. So far, Raynor is keeping up. Scan into the main base. Does reveal the hive is already complete. Hive upgrades are on the way. And Raynor will see if he does start to work towards something greater here. That's going to take a while. Okay. Roaches are working on the debris. Clem is pushing. Uh-oh. Yeah, massive move. I remember Clem, may be losing all these Marines. And that's going to be a chain fungal as well in the bio. Marines are going down, but that's a heavy tank army. How many tanks? 13. Jeez. 13 tanks. That's a lot of tanks, pappy. And we have so much supply tied up here across the map. Raynor's going for the backstab. Does hit the natural, and Clem is going for the kill. He's going for the kill, going for the throat. Please out a lot of Marines. Raynor's just trying to buy some time. Roaches, they get into the natural, they get into the main, catching reinforcements. But can 13's tanks be stopped? Can Raynor stop the army? Oh, we have Vipers. Tanks are unsieged. Vipers are moving in. Nice blinding clouds, covering most of the tanks. Yeah, nice angle, nice flank. Files are connecting. Ooh, a very messy fight though. Yeah, very messy. The tanks are barely being cleaned up. Back across the map, bases are falling. Oh, yeah, Burrow. Yeah, Burrow, Raynor, he's barely hanging on here. Raynor, he has a massive bank, but he needs larva. He has to spend his money. Where are the injections? Oh, no injections. Yeah, no injections here. We have the injection in the natural, no injection in the main, no injection at the third base either. Raynor, he needs larva. Inject, pappy, inject. Oh, God. As Raynor, he survives, he shuts down the army, but Clem still has a better economy. The reality here, Clem, he's on 63 workers plus mules. Clem, he can still rebuild, remax, and do that again. Raynor, he can't really sustain himself. And again, it's just been a really rocky road here for Raynor because of the failed all-in. He's had some strong moments where he's been able to recover and then try to sustain himself, but Raynor needs more. He needs something else to go his way. Does he have any infestors? He has 2. Okay, so if he can do it again, if he can land another massive fungal, then sure. He can pull it off. But Raynor, he has so much kind of to go through here. So much catching up to do. 7 more drone kills. Raynor, he can't afford these losses. And here comes the final push. The final move out. This should be enough to end the game. Even with a fungal, like we'll see. Maybe with fungals, with some blinding clouds. Raynor, can he take a fight? Nice pre-split here by Clem. Very nice. Yeah, Raynor is going for the run by instead. He knows he cannot fight the main army. Base is going down. Lings, they collapse on the fire. Run by is not good enough. And Clem, you just keep pushing. You just keep on going. Making a crazy back and forth. Oh my god, the fungals though! The fungals do land! Where are the blinding clouds? It's not enough. GG gets called. Clem, he will fight back. He will put a point on the board. GG. GG, well played, Clem. He has begun the comeback. Oh my god, a very needed comeback, of course, as they were down 4-0. But Clem, he does fight back. It was still very intense, still very back and forth. Raynor, he had potential, of course, with his all-in, but he had a really rough time pushing into those 3 tanks. He was able to somewhat recover afterwards, but he never really had an economy. Like, his economy was so stifled and was so behind just because of the failed all-in. He never quite did recover economically, at least. Had some really impressive fights, but he couldn't sustain his losses. He couldn't replace his army as he was bleeding out. GG. GG, well played. In the end, Clem did snowball out of control, and now we're getting ready for our next matchup. Oh boy, you know what time it is? It is a 2v2 time. Here we go. It is once again going to be time for Serral and Trigger to face off against Clem and Mana in the rematch. Now, Clem, he's begun the comeback. You know, he's put his first point on the board. Now it's time for the rest of the team to step up. Let's go. Let us go. As we are jumping into our 2v2, it's going to be Serral and Trigger up against Clem and Mana. As spawning in the top right-hand corner, here of Gem Garden, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the Finnish Zerg player in Serral. We have the Canadian Protoss in Trigger. We have Team Basilisk. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gem Garden, we have the French Terran player. We have the Polish Protoss. We have Mana and Clem. We have Team Liquid. here we go. Again, the Team League match does continue. For those that are maybe just now tuning in, it looks like there may be some newer viewers to the channel, of course. This is a Team League match between Team Liquid and Basilisk, and Basilisk, they are leading quite heavily. It's a best of 9, and Basilisk, they need one more win to claim it, and we're in the 2v2 portion of this best of 9. Oh boy, here we go. So back to the 2v2s. So far, we do have our low ground setup here. Now, previously, we did see hyper aggression out of Clem and Mana, which did not succeed. Clem opened up 2-Axe Reaper, Mana opened up a double gate Mass Adept, and they fell on their face. They were unable to deal damage early on, and they did lose their advantage. They lost their momentum, and Serral and Trigger snowballed from there. It was very impressive defense and play from Serral and Trigger. This time, we have more standard openers instead. We're calming things down. We're not opening up 2-Axe Reaper. Calming down, Papi, we're calming down. Duh. As again, we do have some standard openers to begin with. Nothing crazy. Hatch gas full out of Serral. No crazy gasless style that we've been seeing from Raynor as of late, and Serral as well, of course. But not in the 2v2s. And we're waiting for a tech of choice. Waiting to see if we open up Stargate or Twilight Council. As our eyes are on the Protosses. We have the answer, Stargate out of Mana. And we'll see what Trigger takes us, going for Warp Gate. So most likely going to be opening up Twilight Council instead. We do mix it up. And there it is, Twilight Council is on the way. Coming into this, we'll see if Mana can find some damage. We'll see if he can achieve some economic damage here with his oracles. Likewise, we'll see if his opponents can scout, can get a read on what's going on. Oh. As the scouting probe does fall. Oh, that is a sub 3-minute lair. Okay, my apologies. I didn't notice that Serral, he didn't pull out. He did not pull out of gas. Insanely fast lair. Now, with a 250-ish lair timing, are we feeling 2-base muta? Right, we're staying in gas. Second gas geyser is on the way. This does feel like a muta rush. The other option could be a Nidus all-in, but we don't really see as much aggression out of Trigger. Otherwise, we'd be seeing more gateways. So leaning a little bit more towards Spire play, towards mutas, but we'll see. As Serral does claim a third. Reaper Scout is denied. So again, Serral being cheeky. The Oracle is on the way. Yo, loving the terrain. The Oracle moves out. Yet more gas is being taken. Show us the Spire. Okay, so waiting for the tech here. There it is. Spire has been thrown down. So 2-base muta out of Serral. Very fast Spire. Very fast mutas. So far unscouted. That's the scariest part. Oracle gets into the main, but Stalkers are in position, and the Stalkers will deflect. And right now, it's on Trigger to make sure this Oracle does not get close to the main base of Serral. Does not get close. Oracle does rotate. We can see Clem get into his own third TC, building up into his own fire. We have a Robo follow-up out of Mana. Interesting, going Robo into Immortal, into Phoenix Colossus, I would imagine. A little bit old school. An old school style here from Mana. The Spire is almost done. And again, so far, they do not know. But they're about to. Mana is making his way into the natural. He will confirm the gases, and he confirms the Spire. He sees, yeah, he sees, he knows. Phoenix Production's already on the way. Mana's away. Oh, we have some Moopies. I didn't realize. There's a little camp down there. Let's go, let's go. We have some Moopies. But second Stargate, Mass Phoenix, Fleet Beacons on the way for Phoenix range, and so far, nice scouting out of Mana, nice reactions as well. It's going to be much more difficult here for Serral to pop up, to find damage with those mutas. Not impossible, but difficult. as they are at their best when they're a surprise. Lings, they collapse in. Pick up a couple of Marines. Stalkers are moving out as well. Thankfully, Mana is aware. There's that revelation. Because they're making their way into the main, oh, sorry, into the natural waste of Mana. Oh. They are distracted. Muse, they bust in. So nice distraction here by Trigger. Muse, they get 4 probe kills. 4 probes do go down. Now, is it wise for Serral to commit? I mean, he already invested into the Spire, so he has to go into more mutas. But there are so far 4, soon to be 5 Phoenixes. Despite that, damage is being done. Oh, it's a trap. Stalkers are ready. Trigger is here to support. Yeah, blinks into the main, going for the production even. Gets behind the mineral line. Phoenixes that have to respond. There's the recall. Mutas into the natural. Mana's just being bullied here. Yeah, Mana losing 16 pro so far. Ay, ay, ay. Leave Mana alone. Yeah, getting called out. Phoenixes are finally able to catch up. Oh, no. Yeah, who catches who? Getting one, getting just one Phoenix. 3 down 2. 2 Phoenixes go down. Serral pulls away. Trigger, he's pushing right down mid. Pushing down the center, going for the Cybercore. Yeah, Gateway's gonna go down, breaks into the natural. Meanwhile, we do see Clem was out of position. Yeah, Clem heals towards the south side. Now rotating over. As they have been stuck at home. Serral switching into some Corruptors. Oh, yeah, nice dive, nice rotation. Tank goes down, Zelsa get into the mineral line, SCVs are falling. As Clem being pulled apart. Yeah, having a hard time keeping up with these rotations. At the same time, Mutas, they head into the main. They go for the Artosis Pylon. And the Pylon does go down. Depowers everything in the main base. I mean, Clem is going to mass Widow Mine, but so far we haven't really seen them come into play. So we're at 8 Widow Mines on the field so far. Another Zealot run by. Oof. Gets into the third base of Mana. Mutas once again back into the main. Trigger distracting Clem, keeping Clem busy. And Corruptors, they zone away. Yeah, they zone away while Mutas, they do go for the Pylons. Once again, depowers everything. Oh, God. Depowers everything. And this may just be too much. As I mentioned before, like Mana, he doesn't really have much to work with. He's been bullied this entire time. Mass storms here into the mineral line. Trigger popping up. Oh no! Yeah, storm in the middle line once again. The SCVs and along for this world, they're going to be going down. At the same time, Mutas, Corruptors are going for the natural. Mutas are in the main. And Team Liquid, they cannot keep up. Not like this. Not anymore. We were hoping for a back and forth. We were hoping for maybe the beginning of the comeback, but GG gets called, and Serral and Trigger, they will take the series 5-1. Basilisk will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew, GG, well played. I wasn't too certain the Mutas would get much done because remember, they got scouted. Like the Mutas were scouted ahead of time. Both Clem and Mana, they knew what was coming. They knew what was coming. That they knew, of course, that Mutas were on the horizon. And we saw Mana responded with Mass Phoenix with a Fleet Beacon, second Stargate, Mass Phoenix production. But it took a while for the Phoenixes to really get up and running. And despite being aware of it, the Mutas, they achieved so much damage. We saw the lack of stack defense, whether it was turrets, whether it was cannons. A lot of workers are going down, and the aggression continued. Shout out to Trigger as well. Trigger, it wasn't just the Mutas. It wasn't just Serral. Trigger, who's also doing a really good job at rotating, at either supporting the mutas or harassing somewhere else and keeping the opponents distracted, while Serral was able to come in as well. So a lot of harassment, very active style with both Trigger and Serral, being very in the face of Clem and Mana, and they both had a very hard time keeping up with all the aggression, with all the run-bys, the counterattacks, with the aggression of Basilisk. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Basilisk as they do claim the series. They come out on top and they will advance on into those grand finals with that final 5-1 scoreline. Clem was the only player to win a game, but only one game against Raynor. That was the one game that Team Liquid were able to take. Otherwise, a clean sweep here by Basilisk, aside from that one game that Clem was able to achieve against Raynor. A very strong showing here from Basilisk, proving that they are one of, if not the best team in StarCraft 2. They are the reigning WTL champions, and they're here to be the CranKy Season 2 champion as well. We'll see if they can. So with that, Basilisk, they will take the win. And as a reminder, this was the second broadcast today. The second series today. Shopify, they got knocked out earlier, and Team Falcons, they were waiting for the loser of this series. So tomorrow, we're going to be back. Gonna have to eat my words here. The next time we cover this event, it is going to be Team Liquid versus Team Falcons in the lower bracket finals. Team Falcons, they just eliminated Shopify, so Team Falcons, they are still in this tournament. They still have a chance. So does Team Liquid. It is double elimination. So Team Liquid, they get knocked down to face off against Team Falcons in that best of 9. Oh boy. So best of luck. Best of luck. It's going to be a rematch between Team Falcons and Team Liquid, and the winner of that will advance on to face off against Basilisk. Now, I did have to eat my words a little bit there, just because, if you are aware, what is this weekend? SE for All. Typically, we would be casting day 3 of the playoffs tomorrow. We would be. But SE for All, the big offline event happening in Philadelphia in the Americas, is this weekend, and we are going to be casting that. So that is going to be taking our attention, of course. That is going to be starting at 1 a.m. on November 2nd. Jesus. So Saturday night. Saturday night is going to be SE for All. Technically, at around this time, we could still be casting day 3 of this event. But the SE for All tournament is probably going to be like 12 hours. It's going to be a long event. It's going to be a very long tournament. It's going to be very intense, and I do want to be well rested for it. So I'm probably just going to sleep as much as I can in the lead up to the cast. So I do apologize if you do want, when it comes to the remainder, as you can see here, if you want the remainder of the CranKy tournament, you can see we just wrapped up Friday evening with our cast, and you can see Saturday night, 11 p.m. KST. You can see SE for All is going to be tomorrow night. It is in around 24 hours time. We're going to be live with SE for All. We are going to have another morning cast before that, though. We're going to have a replay cast of Pegasus Cup. Pegasus Cup is going to be tomorrow morning. But again, tomorrow evening is going to be SE for All, not the CranKy tournament. Our next broadcast of the CranKy event, so the playoffs day 3, should be on Monday. Should be over on Monday instead. Should be on Monday the 3rd of November. As a heads up. As of course, the SE for All tournament is a 2-day event. 2 days of StarCraft. Oh boy, it's gonna be aye. So again, it's gonna be very intense back. But GG, well played. So again, it's going to be a very intense weekend of StarCraft with some NA StarCraft with SE for All. I believe some Europeans are going to be traveling to that event as well, so bear that in mind. Again, the next broadcast of the CranKy tournament playoffs day 3 should be on Monday, should be on November 3rd, just as a heads up. And over the weekend, we're going to be covering Pegasus Cup and SE for All, and of course, next week is Stellarfest. Now, we did cast the qualifiers of Stellarfest, but I don't think we're going to be covering the main event, unfortunately. From my understanding, I believe Stellarfest is going to be covered mainly by the offline broadcasters. That's going to be Steadfast and Pig. I believe Steadfast and Pig, they're going to be casting Stellarfest. We'll be focusing on our own matches, catching up on of course, the CranKy tournament, and also catching up on Wardy TV Mondays and Pegasus Cups and some of the other events that we did miss out on. I do apologize, we're a little bit behind with CranKy. As you can see, there was no cast on Wednesday. Usually, we would have had a cast on Wednesday to keep up with CranKy. But of course, it was our birthday. It was our birthday on the 29th of October, so did take a day off. Basically, I just slept all day. I just slept all day, just rested on up and in preparation for the rest of the week. So So it was nice. It was nice. Got all the sleep. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And again, we'll be live in around 10 hours time with a replay cast of Pegasus Cup. And we'll be back in 24 hours time with StarCraft for All, which is an offline event happening in Philadelphia in the Americas. It's a StarCraft 2 and Brood War tournament, so it's going to have a little bit for everyone. A little bit for everyone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who is live? Who can we send everyone over to? I can see that Wardy went live with the Wardy October tournaments. I think Rotterdam is... oh, he's doing the watch party, I guess. For Basilisk versus for a team league match. Was he watching us? Was he what else do we? Who else we have? We have Mr. Sadsack. We'll give some love to Wardy. Give some love to Wardy. Give him some love. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys next time. Alright, if you want to support us, you can do so via socials. You can follow us on YouTube. Sorry, you can subscribe on YouTube. On YouTube, we do stream on a daily basis, and we do upload on a daily basis as well. So everything is on YouTube. It's all there. Likewise, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Discord as well. We do post whenever we go live. We go live on a daily basis, typically. So plenty of content here on the channel. Plenty of StarCraft as always. Otherwise, thanks for watching. This is my favorite channel now. Thanks for listening. Oh, thank you, Hammerhead. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Glad you enjoy the content. Glad you enjoy. How dare you take a personal day? I know. How dare I? I'm gonna go get some rest. Gonna go get some food, get some rest. Otherwise, see you next time. See you next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.